You guys are tuning in to the Lavish Journey
podcast. Damn, son, where'd you find this?
And we are live. Ladies and boys, girls, welcome back to Lavish Journey podcast. It's your host, Jay Gaines, over here today with my brother, Freedom.
What up, y'all?
Yep.
How you living? How you feeling? Welcome back to this podcast, Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Ooh,
that sounds pretty good.
You feel me? We should start a band.
We're becoming some singers now.
I'll do the business cards.
Okay. So first thing first, we got some special guests in here. Shout out to our sister Chantel.
Hey, that's my dog.
Shout out to Crys Mclovin.
What
it do, baby?
Hey. And shout out to our sister Jackie.
Black by popular demand.
She's here.
And we got our brother Devontae back in here.
Where his glasses at? Cause that boy is smart.
So today's word day is spicy. Spicy. You know, earlier I was in the car with Jackie and I was like, you know, we're supposed to have some spicy topics tonight. And she's like, what is spicy?
I just need a definition. Like, how do you describe a spicy conversation?
A spicy conversation is a conversation that is over the top a little bit, you know? Is that a good definition?
It's not.
No, I know it's not. Anyways,
it's a little sexual, sensual in nature. It's not the typical you will have this with your parents, but amongst peers. You feel me?
Okay.
Something I could talk to you like, man, I was beating my meat the other day, boy. Let me tell you, like, spicy conversation.
I mean, I was thinking hot, but
that is hot.
Okay, that's
There's
hot.
that.
You feel me?
Challenging conversation.
fair enough.
Oh, I like that.
Challenging.
Challenging.
I like that too.
Or I guess it could be somebody's tone of voice.
Yeah.
Oh, you
If
speaking
somebody
real
is-
spicy right
If
now.
somebody, if they're,
That's what I tell my
it's like,
students.
Spicy.
it's like
Are we
the
talking
difference
spicy?
between being like, "Hey, could you please leave?" and being like, "Hey, I want you to leave."
Period.
One of those,
Out.
one of those was kind of like
So
spicy.
spicy can mean like you said, like a
Attitude.
little tooty, you know what I mean? Well, I guess,
Fiery.
I guess so. I
Fiery
mean,
in
we're gonna
nature.
start saying that then. Does it mean
Nigga,
fiery?
I'm fiery.
You feeling fiery?
No.
Feeling
not
zesty?
yet.
I'm not
Zesty.
zesty. That's a good. I like that. Feeling zesty. So what's today's quote of the day, my brother?
Quote of the day. Focus on the step in front of you and not the whole staircase.
You gonna trip?
You feel me? I feel like in life, be so busy on the big picture instead of just what's in front of you. You know, you could prepare for something in the future, but you still got to focus on your present, what's
Facts.
happening in the now. So that was just for me. Honestly, when I saw that quote, I'm like, I need to focus on what these steps that I'm taking right now.
Yeah,
Instead of being so consumed by the whole staircase. I'm going to get up there when I need to.
Yeah, you know, sometimes I'm the same way. Obviously, man, I be so focused on that whole staircase, but you gotta take one step at a time. You know what I mean? That's the journey of life. We try to rush to get to that, you know, that so-called final destination. But when we get there, we realize it's more destinations beyond that. Like when I graduated college, I was like, oh, this gonna be the final destination. Now I'm trying to reach a whole nother goal. And that's the journey of life. You just gotta keep on going through those steps.
Yeah.
Very well said, Brother Freedom.
Yeah. So what's some steps that y'all feel like, all right, I need to focus on this?
Make it out of quarantine.
Make
Make it out of 2020.
Listen.
You doing that?
Oh.
You doing that?
Doing that, but am I like, so it's like all the levels, right?
Mhm.
So am I doing that in the right order? Do I think I'm doing it in the right order? Am I actually taking a step forward or is it a step back?
I
Who
think
knows?
it's perception.
It all is perception.
You feel me? But you're still taking a step. Even if you think you're going backwards, you're still going forward because there's no way to rewind time. It's only going forward.
True.
So I think you're still going in the right direction. But sometimes we got to hit the table to learn from it. So,
You gotta bump your head a few times.
oh, yeah. I'm hard-headed as hell.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Nah,
I need help.
Yeah. What about you, PSA with flavor? Go ahead, shout your podcast out, by the way.
Oh, you
we
got
got a
a
podcaster
podcast?
in here. Oh, go ahead.
You better
Promotion.
talk.
You know, PSA with flavor on all streaming platforms and YouTube. We out here bringing that flavor for your ear. You feel me?
Yes,
Craig Mack.
The spice.
What does flavor mean? Are y'all spicy? Like, I watched one of y'all clips.
We are
and y'all was
spicy.
talking about some spicy shit.
We are pretty fucking spicy.
Okay.
Pretty fucking spicy.
Okay.
So don't watch it with your children. Okay?
hide
All
your
right.
kids, hide your wife.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. Okay? But yeah. I don't know what else.
I forgot what the question was. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, like, so what's some of the topics that you tend to discuss? Like, what is something that people can watch your podcast and learn, you know, view, be incited on?
So with my podcast, always expect the unexpected.
Okay.
We talk about everything. I mean, we talk about life, relationships, mental health, pretty much everything. But you know, we too spicy individuals, so it always turns into something else.
Yeah. So it just goes down the rabbit hole after
They
that.
talk about vaginas and penises.
Oh, your sex.
Well,
I heard it.
I heard it.
I heard it. No, don't be trying, Shy.
Well,
You're supposed to
that's
let
a
the
part of
viewers
life. That's
figure
a
it
part of
out.
life.
Facts.
I mean,
We do the same thing.
grown
We
folks.
do. Let's talk
We all
about
got
it.
penises and vaginas, and I had revealed on the show that I used to be a dominatrix.
Yeah.
So
You said you what?
What's a dominatrix?
You
Can
into
you explain to
dominatrix?
this listening?
huh?
You said you're into dominatrix?
I used to be professionally.
How
You
was that
gotta
for you?
explain. Well,
Yeah,
I
talk
know
to
what it's
us. Let us
about,
know.
but yeah, how did you get into this field?
I need the explanation of the professional.
Okay, so dominatrix really has a lot of different meanings. It just depends on what exactly you're in. So simply to define it for me is just being submissive to your true self. Okay. Because a lot of people come to a dominatrix or dominant. A dominant is the man. To be them true selves. You know, it doesn't always have to be sexually. A lot of times it's not. Even though sometimes you're performing sexual acts, the most important thing about being dominated is the aftercare. You know, a lot of people don't know what it all entails. Sometimes people are crying. Sometimes they are, you know, just overcome with relief. It's just a lot of stuff that goes into the aftercare after the actual action of what happened.
So what kind did you specialize in? So what was your specialty out here?
Specialty.
Y'all trying to make her get serious.
No, she's serious.
I really wanna know, like,
I mean, if you, I don't meet too many dominatrix.
Me
I mean,
either.
I know one other one, so it's like, why not talk about it?
I don't really have a specialty. My mentor trained me to be very well-rounded, so I don't really when I was doing it, I really never shied away from people. You know, people would bring me different things, and I would just be like, okay, we can try it. And then if I don't like it, I would just refer them to somebody else.
Okay. So what was your favorite then, since you
Baller.
seem like you're well-rounded in that field?
My favorite thing, I loved women.
Me too.
So I don't have sex with any of my subs. That's not something that I do. So with women, because I think that in this specific field, men get to have all the fun. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people won't go. You know, a lot of women won't go. So when women come to me, I'm like, sis, I got you. You know. So women were my favorite.
I've met a lot of, well, not a lot of women, but men who've opened up and said they like to be with a dom woman. You feel me? And I know girls who like, yeah, this one's one of my subs. You feel me? I make him pay me for doing this humiliation and certain X, Y, Z of things. And I'm like, you getting paid to
Oh, yeah.
dog this dude? You feel
Hold
me?
on.
So,
What do you mean by dog this dude,
Yeah.
dog?
So,
like,
we
yeah,
understand.
Dog
so,
him.
so
because this
it's
is a whole new world for me. What I'm hearing.
So
Like,
humiliation.
belittle him?
Yeah, humiliation.
Oh, okay.
Make him feel less than?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Pretty much,
Yeah.
So, like, what's way, like tying him up and hitting him with some shit, or?
Sometimes you tie him up. Sometimes you beat him. I had one dude. He just liked to eat out of like dog food and shit like that.
Yeah, the dog bowls.
Oh,
Because I wanted
fascinating.
him to.
You an OG. No, for real. For real.
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that's raw to me.
That's dope.
But
Like-
what do you guys think the psychology behind that is?
I think it's just sexual nature, kinks, fetishes.
What is a kink?
Something that stimulates you sexually. You know that.
Yeah, but
you,
why? Why?
It's
just
not
why?
even that. Sometimes people really have like messed up past. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at.
So
That's what
yeah,
a kink is.
it could be something that happened to them when they were a kid. You know what I'm saying? Or even as an adult.
Mhm.
There you
But
go.
I don't think it always has to be stemmed from a childhood
Not
trauma for
always.
you to be like, I'm into this shit.
But normally a trauma is what you're.
Yeah, but if a
extremely
girl is just like, I
sexually
want to
turned
eat out
on
this dog bowl, you feel me? Like, but
But
that
what-
just
Yeah,
turns
some
her on.
Girl, you crazy.
Yeah, you feel
Some
me?
people
Crazy
are
girl.
just like
But
that.
what's
though.
behind that? What I'm saying is the omission of their higher controls. So when they're eating out of the bowl, they're just following a command.
Some people like that though.
That's what I'm saying.
It
That's the
doesn't-
pleasure.
it
Have you
doesn't
ate out of
even
bowl?
have-
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I mean, I eat out of bowls all the time. But
You do?
Cereal
Oh, shit.
What's a cereal bowl?
They got-
What is wrong?
You
Like,
got the
why would you
tail
act
on the
like
back.
bowls are not a thing?
It's something Devontae has to be
Hey,
telling us.
hey, open up.
Go ahead, open up to
No,
us. So,
look, I'm trying to describe what I'm saying is
Uh-huh.
that those people aren't necessarily crazy. Anybody who has a deep kink like that, I don't think they're crazy. I think
no.
there's somebody who has like you could say they have a trauma, which
Uh-huh.
is normally where it would come from, but it could also be something that was developed through an extreme need.
Yeah.
So imagine like a
Maybe
man
it's
could
attention.
let's say
They
a
just
man
want
is very
attention.
unattractive
Yeah.
and
Probably
he's
so.
never. I don't think it's
Probably so.
attention.
It
That would
can-
be-
Well, I mean,
it
I'm
can
saying that's my
definitely be
opinion.
attention.
yeah, it could
Because
be
I've had a
attention.
couple of married
Women?
men come to me.
Men
because
wanting
of
Now, do you think
this.
they have mommy issues?
I don't think they had mommy issues.
Okay.
I think it was more or less they didn't feel fulfilled in their
Oh.
relationships. Some of them aren't fulfilled in their job roles. You know what I'm saying? It's
You
like
feel less than.
once you get to a certain level in your job,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? You just like, okay, now what? You know what I'm saying? So they looking for something else to kind of.
Don't you think?
Stimulation.
Don't you think that in that situation, let's say somebody who likes to be eaten out of a dog bowl, right? That's somebody who is constantly probably in control.
Come get him.
Yeah.
So if that person is in control a bunch and they're always in control from the beginning of their life, they're constantly in control, and then somebody they just know can tell them, eat out of that dog bowl.
That's how it happens. A lot of my clients used to be high profile
There you
people.
go. And then what it does is it's the freedom of being so high profile, and it just gets them off that they're like, I am the top of the world, but this girl can make me eat out of a dog bowl.
Yeah.
Eat
Like,
out
you
that
know-
goddamn dog bowl, boy.
Like,
now.
I'm trying to see the
All right,
psychology
babe.
behind it because
Just don't yell
nobody's
at me.
crazy. Nobody's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy
No,
is an
yell louder.
omission of trying to understand something because it's too far beyond your boundaries. There's no such thing as crazy.
When it comes to that, honestly, I think that's just pretty cool. I mean,
think
I
too,
don't want to eat
but-
on no dog bowl, but I do like a woman that's kind of like a little more.
Look, I look.
Open.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
A little more
I'm
open,
gonna show
yeah.
you a whole nother world. Like, oh shit, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I ain't eating on no dog bowl,
Hell
but,
no.
but I do like that. So, have you ever had somebody that was more dominant than you?
As a client, no.
Okay, I'm just curious.
I think that's why they going
boyfriends
to
out
her,
there,
though,
right?
because she's the dom.
I mean, yes, obviously I have to have a man who's dominant. Like, that's just who I am, even before
Yeah.
I was doing that. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a dominant woman. So, I mean, it came naturally to me for me to have a dominant man.
Dope.
Does he allow you to explore that dominant role that you've developed?
I've had some who've explored it. Very
Mhm.
basic things, of course.
Yeah, I believe it.
But, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. You feel me? Kinks and fetishes is like you said. I'm trying to understand, but I'm just like that's just what you into. You feel me? I think everybody.
It's so many.
Are
It's
you
so
into
many.
that freedom?
No, maybe not being
It's really-
dominated. You feel, but I've been in that role. Of
Have
like,
you ever had
being
somebody
submissive.
try to dominate you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
All right.
mean, it's allowing an exchange of power is healthy, especially sexually.
I agree.
A man can always be in control of everything. So allowing that exchange
It's
of
boring.
power. Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah.
Let her tell you what to do. You feel me? That's a turn on.
I think it better helps everybody understand themselves too. If
Mhm.
you're submissive to somebody, you know what I'm saying? You know what you're like when you're the dominant, but what are you like when you're submissive? You know what I'm saying? It's a trust
I
thing.
think it's all. I was just about to say it's trust based. So, for instance, a man, it's harder for a man to give dominance control over to a woman because he would think that would bleed over into his real life.
It's not
Ego.
as hard as you think.
You know, like his ego. Exactly.
Ego.
It's not as hard as you think. It's really not. It's all about how he feels about you.
It's
and
how
if he
that
trusts
woman
you.
is. It's how that woman.
But I
would
think
handle it.
as a
I feel
man, you feel me? There's no such thing as being a man. You feel me? It's just who you are. If you're comfortable with that, being submissive to your woman, you just cool with her having that control. I think it's just you as an
I
individual.
feel like not one party, but each party has a certain level of something that is the essence of man or woman that they have to maintain in order to keep the person happy.
Mm.
So
I don't know.
if you have a man that you
Clem.
say you want a dominant man, right? So if you have a man that you can dominate completely in all areas, but you choose to not let him because you want him to look dominant in front of you, but you know if you lifted your head up, he would sorry.
And we talking
Need
about
to
a
turn
relationship.
Is
So-
that are
Yeah,
you
that's
going
what
to
I'm
be
saying.
attracted to
I
that
ain't doing
man?
it.
I think that's
So-
beyond the relationship at that point.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Any-
That's beyond the relationship.
any great relationship-
I'm just listening.
To me,
I got my wine.
to me,
Better be somebody's
hey,
pappy.
you need some wine. Okay?
know it.
Wait.
To me, any great relationship dynamic, a woman is always the dominant.
Every trip.
Because we possess certain things that men do not. Y'all might be able to go out and get the puzzle pieces, but we can put it together.
You
Period.
better say that shit.
You know what? I can't argue that.
Period.
So
Boy.
any healthy relationship dynamic, the woman is the dominant. Because you're a man and I know that you're the provider, but you know that I can make it right for you. So you're gonna do what you gotta do.
Crys Mclovin.
Bring it back to me. But I'm not. And as a woman, you have to understand your role too. Just because you're the one dominant behind closed doors, you have to let that man be a man.
Effectively, so
That-
what do I mean? Like, what do we
right
mean
there.
by dominant? Because in my opinion, I think that a woman is submissive, like as in like not my total will, because she is her own person. But if the situation cometh, I am the one who makes the final decision. And what I mean by that is not in her life. If she makes a decision for herself, she is her own person.
But aren't you
So if
taking
she
this
says,
outside of what she's talking about with dominant? Like this is you're talking about relationship. She's talking about
It's
inner
the
room.
same. It's the same though. I get
But
what
no,
he's saying. I get what he's saying.
what I mean is like if yes in the but in the bedroom, what I mean is like you have to know that you cannot win, or you will not be attracted. That's what I feel like about women in their core.
I don't.
So
get
like,
that.
and I don't mean it as in like what I mean is okay. So tell me, if you were to get with your man and your man, where you were to really get in an argument with him, and you guys were to come to blows. And you were to smack him. You were to smack him. Let's say you were to smack your man.
Bitch ass nigga.
And this nigga really be on the ground like,
Stop hitting me.
baby. Oh, sorry. Look, he's cool, but you know. Look at your lip. See? It's natural because the way a woman works is that
I
you
mean,
guys
but what is
want-
natural? What are you saying?
It disgusted you.
I-
You when I did that, you
that
were
a
like,
man would cower.
yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
effectively. So that is the standard that you have put in your subconscious for a man.
That he would not cower behind
That he
me.
will not cower behind me. So that's a standard. So if you have a man that's doing that, he is below your natural standard.
But
So what I'm saying is if domination, right? If you're going to be a dominant woman, he still has to allow you a certain level of dominance, right? So it should be an agreement. That's what I feel like. If I ever say, oh, you take control, or you do this, or you do that, I'm just agreeing with her, like, hey, go ahead. You know, like, you could do whatever you want. I'm not going to anything. And she, feel free to go as she pleases. And I'm not going to react. But if it were not that she knew, if I were really be like, stop, and she knew that I couldn't stop her, she would be like, all right, I need a new boyfriend.
it's a double-edged sword, though, because it's a
Yeah.
power dynamic between the two. You know what I'm saying? Because behind closed doors, you very well may cower to me. But I'm not going to put you out like that to
In
everybody
the public,
else.
yeah.
I'm about to say
So you
exploiting
can say
somebody.
what you want. Like, this how I was raised, though. You know what I'm saying? You never disagree with your family in public. You know what I'm saying? Because that tell other people how to treat your family. So I'm the same way in my relationships. You can say what you want, act up, do whatever. But behind closed doors, you better know.
Gonna whoop his ass.
You gonna watch this nigga whoop his
I'm
ass.
about to wail on
Are
him.
you the type to whoop his ass?
I don't put my
She gonna
hands
pull out
on
that
anybody.
Get your ass in the corner.
That's
Shut
what I
the
was
fuck
gonna
up.
say. Why we gotta
Open
be
my
resorting to
goddamn
putting our
door.
hands on me?
Yeah, I don't
I'll
put
be
my
your buddy.
hands. I don't put
I
my
don't know,
hands
though.
on anybody
There's some women
unless
out here who will beat your ass
you
if
put
they
your
go
hands
for
on
it.
me first. I'm not that woman. Also, I know my limitations. I know that I cannot fight a man. I will try to fight you, but I will pull out my tool on you. Okay.
Uh-oh.
You get that piece of lead to the
Uh-oh.
head.
Pew, pew.
That sounds wild. But to end off on that topic, to hop on to the next, what is the first topic of the discussion, my brother? Freedom.
That sounds wild.
That did. It sound too wild for me.
You said, I gotta change
That's
this one up.
suspicious. That's weird.
When it get a little weird, I had to switch things up. Well, I like weird though.
I do. I like
Yeah,
weird.
I'm a weird person.
Shout out
in
to you
general.
and your journey. You feel me?
Yeah,
Because you're like
facts.
one of the
Thank
first
you.
who have
Thank you.
opened up and talk about it. Because I think that's something healthy. You feel me? And men and women should explore different realms of shit beyond
Definitely.
just the typical.
You are really open. Anybody else would have rejected
Yeah.
that question. They would have been like,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later.
Because I mean, it's when you do it right, it's good. It's good for everybody.
Facts.
Nobody's open nowadays. So, like, they wouldn't tell you if they were into that.
We know that.
Shit, we are. We talk about everything.
We talk about everything, but we glad that you came on the show and
Yeah.
definitely brought in the podcast with that
Yeah,
very interesting
Dominatrix.
dominatrix. So
Yeah.
for y'all that out there that's listening, if you want to know all about dominatrix, I'm pretty sure just heard everything. But hit up our sister Crys Mclovin.
You feel me? Let her whoop your ass.
Hey, whoop your
wait,
ass.
so
Let her whoop
Hey,
your ass.
you may get some DMs though.
Hey, you
I
will.
will not
She probably already
whoop
is.
your ass unless you ask me. Okay.
Hey, I ain't mean with the hands.
No,
you got
I-
the will. You
it's
let
more
her
than
whoop
just
your
hands.
ass. It's more ways
I
than
do
just
have
one.
a whip.
I
So
know
fellas,
you do.
don't stalk her page, but you can hit her up, but don't stalk her page.
Yeah.
Y'all can I hit you up.
Sure.
All right, cool.
All right, so with current times, getting the vaccine.
Fuck that vaccine.
What
Right,
would you do
okay.
if your job told you you had to either get the vaccine or face unemployment?
I'm unemployed.
You know what? But will you really just say fuck your
Yeah.
job on the
Yes.
How many people are actually
Yeah.
like, if tomorrow they said you have to get this?
Let me
Cool.
tell you, I got professions that I don't need to work at my job for. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I got a backup plan. I stay with one.
Like, man.
So
what-
we're agreeing that everybody here doesn't want to take the vaccine?
No,
I
no.
don't
You know what? I would say I would not take it now, but if it goes like 2-3 years and I cannot go out the country
3
until I
years?
take it, yeah, because I love traveling, man. But if we go 3 years down the line, they tell me I cannot travel without that vaccine, they will put
Alright.
me in the corner that I will have to take it.
Why are we against the vaccine?
I'm not
I don't
against
know
it.
enough about it.
I just don't know enough about it.
I mean, I know
Nobody
it's about
knows
COVID,
anything about it.
To-
but that's
Tuskegee
my
study.
thing. Like,
Except
I'm
the
not,
people who made it.
period.
I mean, that's fine,
That's all I
but-
need right there.
What?
Tuskegee study.
Yeah, and it's in our generational DNA. We're like terrified about that deep down.
Yeah.
Tuskegee study. You know about that?
It's crazy.
I hope
Like,
so.
The coronavirus wasn't an established thing when whoever formulated that plan
No,
did
but
that.
it's also an excuse to put something in your body that you think is good for you.
yeah.
Just like the Tuskegee study.
Okay,
You thought it was
that's
good for you.
already happening without their help. They could just not
That's
make the
correct.
vaccine and people would die.
I think they want
how
to do
many-
something to us though.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
they kind of wicked.
I mean, you got to think of the companies who are in charge of this, though. You know, it's not some herbalists who are studying plants to be like, this is what
It's
we're
in their
concocting.
benefit to keep people alive for as long as they can,
I mean, but
so they can keep.
but our medical field. Let's be honest.
Not theory.
in
Like,
this experience, is in their benefit to keep people alive.
No,
Corona,
it's in their
No,
benefit
it's
to
control.
make money.
It-
At
that's
the
all
end
that.
of the
That's
day,
all
it's in
that.
their
But-
benefit to
but
make
it
money.
makes-
You better say that.
No, really.
So
But-
like at the end
For
of the
sure.
day, if they're paying people to take it,
Mm-hmm.
or they're paying like
107.9.
folks to literally like, hey, I can get somebody else to take it, so therefore I have X, Y, Z, and then you have this whole following of people taking that vaccine.
Influence.
It doesn't really matter. Like
But
they
if-
can make whatever whatever modifications on your genetics that they want to.
But if you die of
that
corona,
sounds
they
scary.
can't make any money off of you when you turn 50 to 60.
That's correct, but they feel like the population is
Overpopulated.
it's overpopulated enough where they can still make money
Population
off of
control.
Corona was
Yeah.
doing
was
that
just
by
thinking
itself.
that.
Why would they need to help it? They would
That's
just
why-
say
I
they
mean,
didn't have a.
What
they
about
would
the
just.
theory of population control with coronavirus?
Wouldn't the smartest thing to do if you wanted us dead be to put out a vaccine that didn't do anything?
I would say this. I would take the
But-
vaccine in a different country. I wouldn't take it here.
So we go like to
Why?
London, United Kingdom, and take it.
Oh hell no, because they just as bad as us.
They just took somebody just took. There's an
They-
old person, and you see they doing old people first.
What does
They
anybody?
about to die.
A
Yeah.
vaccine-
They got to see how it is. 2
ahead,
years?
put it on
Okay,
now.
this nigga gone.
And they're all in the back.
Does everybody know what a vaccine is?
Go for it. Let us know. Inform us, brother.
Fine.
A vaccine is a dormant virus
Yeah.
that is effectively the exact same form of the virus, but in a state where it cannot reproduce itself, so that the immune system can see it, right? So if you're an auto mechanic, to take me as a reference, and I say, oh, I'm gonna work on a new car tomorrow, right? And somebody says, oh, here, tonight before, I want to give you a diagram of this entire car. It's not the car, but it's a diagram of the car. So I'm going to look at that all night. And then when the car shows up in the morning, oh, wow, bam, 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 I'm done much faster. So imagine a vaccine, and you give your immune system, which is like little warriors that fight viruses that come in with swords, if you can imagine it, right? Now, you give them the dormant virus. That's giving them the tactics and the way the other army is going to act when they show up. So when the virus hits you, your immune system's already like, ah, ha, ha, I knew you were coming through this door, and it slices the neck.
So, question. So, if it takes, you said it's just it is the virus.
It's
but
a dormant
It's
form
a
of
dormant
the virus.
form. So, why does it take 5 to 6 years, 5 to 10 years for them to
Develop it?
create a cure for such virus if they already know
Because it's
this
not
is
necessary.
just all right. It's just this stem of the virus, but we can just inject it
Because
in.
it
I would
mutates.
imagine. I'm not.
Yes,
It mutates. I'm not against
yeah.
the virus. I'm not against the vaccine.
Yeah, I'm not
But
against it either.
It mutates, so you're definitely gonna have to. It's like the flu. You're gonna have
Yeah.
to keep taking it over and over. And
So
make
why
it
would I
quicker.
take it now?
That's
if,
what I'm
if
saying.
we don't know
But
what
not
stem
over
stem
and
of it
over.
is.
They're probably amend the vaccine. But what I mean is, effectively, even if your body gets one, SARS is coronavirus. So even if you get one form of SARS, it's like saying an army from China in another part of China. It's still SARS. So your body, we're trying to keep people from dying. Not necessarily getting sick. We can't stop the flu. We can't stop you from getting sick, and you'll probably get sick from corona afterwards, 2 years plus afterwards, right? But that means you're not going to die. You're going to have a roughly
But
throat.
that's most people who catch it now. They don't
I
die
was just
from
about
it.
to say that. It's a
Like,
97, 98%.
It's
But
97,
But the
98%.
vaccine is most vital for those who are dying.
dying.
But
So we could go without.
But we don't know
using
that.
it.
We need a year plus 2 of studies to actually know these numbers to say,
And
okay,
that's why
this actually
I say
helped him.
best advice on the vaccine: wait 6 months to a year. Because if a person is going, people I just saw on Facebook, and I'm sure y'all did too, the people who first took it in New York and the people who first took it in certain areas,
UK,
right?
Yep.
So let's see what happens to those people in the short term, not the long term. Don't try and wait 4 years, okay? But wait like 6 months to a year and see what happens. And then if those people are like, I'm still kicking,
Hold on.
but I doubt.
Do you really
But
think they're going
I'm
to show
about
the
to say,
effects of those people?
They
No,
gonna,
they are.
I'm about
You
to say
really
this
think
is
they're
government
gonna show?
control.
I
They're
highly
not
doubt
going to
a
show.
vaccine.
Like that old lady, she probably swear crawl on the walls right now.
Okay, like,
I highly
do
doubt
not
a
trust the
vaccine.
influence of social media, because in theory,
Facts.
everything can be released in social media in 5 minutes to 10 minutes, really.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, and we're not a generation that's not going to tweet about it or
Or at least
We
do
damn
research
sure.
on it. Yeah,
We're gonna
and
talk
then
about this
we
motherfucker.
research.
Right. I mean, the only thing about the virus and the vaccine is that it's been a year at most, right? So, like, on a normal basis, it takes you 2 to 3 years to actually release something like a vaccine. So we're way ahead of that curve. So, like, how much do you trust that time period of not showing effects?
And it's by Johnson & Johnson. You feel me?
Wait,
These
what?
niggas are terrible.
Johnson & Johnson?
Yeah, they're the ones who...
I'm gonna look up their stock.
well,
Yeah.
What?
See, I
You-
look
you
at the
feel me?
quick-
Like-
I trust Moderna better, so like that's
Yeah, I trust
in theory,
them.
I trust Moderna better.
But I'm just
because-
like, when they said Johnson & Johnson is sponsored, and then what's his name? The billionaire Bill Gates is
Nah, I-
influencing this.
Bill
I
Gates
think
all about the
fair.
money.
Super fair.
This is an
he's just
irrelevant
as trash.
topic for
Johnson & Johnson
us,
stock.
for people who are healthy and 20-something.
But it's relevant.
But
it's
it
relevant
is.
because
But
you have
what
certain
I'm-
parents.
What,
We're
but
in
what
it.
I mean is what the
Yeah.
most
We're in the
important
heart of
people
it.
is important to is the 60 or 50 and
They're
up.
my grandparents, though, bro.
Yeah, you have
I know, because if you say if your grandma
and
gets
it's
it,
like,
Yeah.
and for people who have kids like me, you know what I'm
Me
saying? They
too.
always
Mhm.
trying to shoot your baby up with some shit. Like my baby wasn't even fully vaccinated until she was 2 years old. Hey, if y'all black, take
I was
y'all
about to
baby,
ask y'all a question.
take y'all children to black doctors.
Yes.
We just talking about another show.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, that's true. That's good. And by the way, for y'all that do have kids, so were y'all anti-vaccine when y'all first got y'all babies into this world, or
Absolutely.
okay,
I absolutely was.
Were you?
What?
Only because
anti-vaccine?
I don't
Yeah.
see
Okay.
how you can shoot up a 6-month-old with 4 damn shots at one time. That's crazy to me.
and you don't know what's in that shit. Oh, this is
Exactly.
gonna help this. This is gonna help this, and that baby is fresh out.
That's why I was
Exactly.
asking.
Ain't even have
And
fresh
it's just
air.
crazy to me.
But do you understand that this is? I'm not defending big pharma. Okay, I don't know.
You work for them, don't you?
What I'm saying is,
Motherfucking feds.
what I'm saying is,
That's why y'all that money.
just dismissing something that's been developed for 50 years and has been distributed to our entire community, and it's been something that is a development over the years of human development that we've worked to survive. So effectively,
Right.
when you have a baby, it's the same as 1,000 years ago.
So,
But what
But 1,000
makes
years,
him
they didn't
different?
have certain chemicals.
What I'm
within
saying is
there.
what makes them different is our chemical defense. That's what
Yeah.
makes them different. So when we first have a baby, we get 7 or 8 shots, which will make you not die, according to like if you were 1,000 years ago.
well, here's my take on it, because I wasn't fully anti. It was just, it's going to take some time. She didn't get fully vaccinated until she was 2 years old, because I sat down with her doctor and asked her, what does she need right now? She can take this right now. We can do this in a year. She can take this right now. We can do this, and
Black
this
doctor?
in a year.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
So it's about the increments, because you giving your baby, this is a brand new baby. You know what I'm saying? They never had the chemicals in their body. And they tell you, like, oh, they'll have fever, they'll have runny nose, why am I torturing
you wouldn't
my
want to take them
child?
all at once.
Why am I torturing but they give them to
I'm
them
about
like
to say
that.
they make them take it
They
like
give them
that.
to your baby like that. So it's like, I'm not about to torture my child, you know what I'm saying, because motherfuckers out here being irresponsible. That's why Chinese people don't take their kids outside until they're 2 years old.
So question for you. If your baby is 2 years old, right, this is before they hit daycare, does daycare change it or does it stay the same?
Well, when you get into
that's a good
daycare
question.
and schooling, they make you
then
get
you
all
have
the
to.
vaccines. My baby doesn't go to daycare.
I mean, in theory, there's some daycares that don't even care, right? You can say, like, okay, whatever. They don't need the records. I'm asking you, does daycare change it where they're around a bunch of different kids and they're trying to, and they're touching these different kids and they're exposed to different things that these kids could be vaccinated to?
I absolutely think that, but at the same time, it's just about your parenting style. I mean, for me, my baby was around her family. I know all my family was pretty much vaccinated. She doesn't go to daycare, so I didn't really have to worry about that too much. But if she were to go to daycare, I know that they would be like, because the type of parent I am, she would go to a daycare to where they would be like, you have to be vaccinated.
Right, but your safety net is that your family is vaccinated.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I see what you're saying.
I mean, I'm sorry.
I see what
I
you're
am
saying.
I am an engineer by heart. I am a scientist by my definition of my core. So then when I come to these questions where theoretical and I jump back to what, okay, if my safety net is something that I can give my child all at once and it's 5 days of being uncomfortable versus like 5 years of being uncomfortable, what makes the difference to me? And I'm not a parent, so I don't know. So I'm asking you.
Right. So again, it's your parenting style. Because a lot of my family was like, well, you need to get her vaccinated, But at the same time, like I said, she really was only around a small bunch of people in her early months. She really didn't go around big family till she was about 1.5 going into 2.
But even
so
then,
more important things, she was at home with me.
But
so
the microcosm is giant, and microcosm means like on this table, there are millions of living creatures.
I washed this
understand
tablecloth
that.
today.
Not talking, even if you wash it in the
I know.
in the
I
cleaning
know.
material that you washed it with, there's a
Yeah.
pathogen that survives.
Y'all just
Yeah.
fucking
You understand what I mean?
Don't
Like,
get techie on me.
there's so much.
Yeah.
No,
But
what I'm
listen,
talking about,
but-
virus, like for instance, this is why I think most of the precautions that we use against a virus is silly. Like, granted, I do not say that masks do not work completely. In a grand environment, if
Got an
somebody
engineer
coughs
here.
over there and you're wearing a mask, you probably might help yourself. So please don't let what I'm about to say like deter anybody from masks. But what I'm saying is the mask is not about to save you. Okay,
Yeah.
a bacteria, okay, is very, very small. It can go through the
that
fibers
Blasphemy.
of your mask.
Blasphemy.
Okay,
The mask
so
do
wait.
save you.
So what I'm saying is, okay, let's talk
I know
about a
some
Fox
virus.
News said.
A virus is
Bought the
17,000
right one.
times smaller than a bacteria. So that means that virus walks through those gates of which look like to the virus gates. Your fabric little thing that you're wearing on your face, like it's a giant heaven gate. Like, oh look.
Even through the sides, it's wide open.
I mean,
It's
I understand
the
all of
decrease.
that, but like I said, it's your
It's the decrease
parenting
of
style. Once y'all have
yeah, of
kids,
I'm about to say,
y'all
I've joined that
listen.
club.
Once
so.
you have kids, you'll fully understand.
No,
It's
I get it.
it's a parenting style because that little person changed your whole way of thinking.
Definitely.
Like, first of all, when she was born, I was like that. No, because this and this, you know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like, this my baby and I don't want her to suffer.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
feel you on that.
For my ease, my peace of mind. So what does she absolutely need right now?
That's actually gonna help.
Tetanus.
And it's environment. If your baby going to daycare, it's different. You know what I'm saying? If your baby around family all the time, it's different.
But who are they around? And who are the people they're around?
Exactly.
Oh, that's
Okay,
thinking too
Exactly.
deep.
I was
That's
about
like
to
it's
say,
different.
we-
That's
Right.
Y'all gonna make people paranoid.
So
Yeah,
the
they are. People
corona-
probably-
the
That's a
whole
coronavirus
different
has a
question.
2-day
Never leave the house.
half-life. So if the coronavirus has a 2-day half-life, that means if I do this, and there was coronavirus.
Oh shit,
Damn.
Jackie.
No,
No, no,
no,
no. I did that on purpose.
Unhand me, you ruffian.
Now that spot on her shirt is gonna be coronavirus.
Big Pharma.
So until like if somebody comes near that and let's say brushes near it like that,
We throwing that over
that
here.
means that
Rona.
Washing my clothes right after this.
Don't even get in the car. Just take it off outside.
that pathogen will
Drive
go
home
through
with
and end up into their system. Now the virus has the tendency to what? Duplicate itself.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the point
I
that you're saying is that it's not
understand
100% accurate. And nothing's
Yeah,
ever gonna be 100%
nothing
accurate.
is accurate.
But you do the best you can.
But you know what?
And don't be paranoid.
But
while
you
do
know
it.
what?
Right.
Live your life, please.
All of that
What's up,
is
Flavor?
cool. But I know a God and I serve a God. You feel me?
Deep.
And I'm under
Sorry.
that umbrella. So when you got that covering, baby, you're not even
Hallelujah.
worried about
Hallelujah.
it. Okay?
The Trinity.
I'm not
Hallelujah.
worried about it. Okay?
In the valley,
'Cause I
found
know.
him to be his bride.
Listen,
Well, speaking about
that's for the
God and
baptism
everything,
songs.
I got a question for y'all. Are you single until you're married?
yes.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
So, okay, we got one yes. How about you, Jackie?
That is correct in a sense, but like I'm committed to whoever I'm with.
So are you single until you're married, though?
I mean, everybody's
Yes.
single till they married.
Okay.
But I
Yes.
you can be committed.
Yeah.
Okay,
At the
Devontae.
same time.
How about you, brother?
Are you single until you're married? It depends on
Yes
where
or no?
you are.
We're going to elaborate in a minute. Yes or no?
He said I want
White
the
or
short.
black?
Yeah. We're going to elaborate in a minute. Yes or no, brother?
You single.
All right, we gonna come back to
Five,
him.
4, 3.
All right.
You gotta put up the
Chantel,
stats.
are you single until you're married?
Yes.
Freedom, are you single until you're married?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to say no.
Yeah, whoever I'm with is
Yeah.
who I'm with.
I'm going to say no. All right, now back to you.
Okay, I don't think that.
Yes or no?
It depends.
Answer. He's not gonna, he gonna give us a
No,
he gonna
wait,
give us a
look, it
story. Come on.
depends on where you are, first of all, because marriage is a Christian concept. So if you're Christian, then yes,
Okay.
you're single until you're married. If you are non-Christian secular or you don't have a religion, I'm not going to get into all the religions, but I'm saying let's say just Christian and not Christian. No,
Okay.
because Christians decide that they have
An agreement.
agreement that they make with their Lord and that person. That cannot be
Are you with
until
the
you
Lord?
are married.
Why?
You may
with
not
the
have
Lord?
sex. You
Well,
may not
He got this
anything.
pastor shit going.
I would say that's traditional.
My Jesus.
But traditional is.
traditional.
But
Yeah,
I was about to
traditional.
say, I don't follow.
God said this
I am
on
not
this
following
day.
tradition right
I saw you,
now.
son.
I am a
Christianity
Christian
is
and I am not
Christianity.
following
You're not the
Christianity,
only one.
Christianity is
You're
cut and
not the
dry.
only one.
A lukewarm Christian
He
is
still
somebody
loves
who
him.
doesn't
A
think of it
lukewarm
as cut and
Christian.
dry. So if you're going
that
to
most
now, what I'm
Christians?
saying is
Wait,
now
what?
I'm not
I never heard that before.
Well,
I'm not coming from a standpoint right now.
Okay.
Now what I'm saying is, now a secular person, I'll be damned if you say that you're not with the person you having sex with, because marriage is just a government contract to you
A
to
piece of
make your
paper.
credit cards work together. So if you aren't with that person since the
agree.
commitment, the verbal commitment, then you were never with them in the first
I don't
place.
think you answered the question though.
I was going to ask.
you went around it. Yes or no right now?
know.
Yes or no? I got another part to
So
it. Yes or
from
no?
a Christian
I'm
point of
taking
view,
it, no.
What's your point of view?
Your point of view.
What's your
Five.
point of view,
I
Devontae?
take it as a no.
Are you a Christian?
4.
What's your point of view,
I would
brother?
consider myself.
Come on, brother. Just go. You know
So
you know
are
the
you
answer.
with the Lord?
I would say I'm pretty lukewarm though, so I can't really.
So what does that mean? Are
So you single
are
or
you
you
single till
dating?
you married? Yes or no?
Yes.
You
Okay.
fucking or
He's
not?
single.
Okay.
He's single till he's married. All right.
Okay, great. Or not.
Okay, now we're about to dive into it. Okay, honestly, I feel like I'm single. No, other way around. I feel like whoever I'm with, I'm committed to. You know what I mean? Because I know marriage at the end of the day, on any level, is a business. Because I feel like it shouldn't take a ring and a nice little fancy wedding to really commit to somebody. If you commit to that person, you love them from jump. You know what I mean? I know I'm not perfect. Obviously, I'm not married
Or
right
you
now. I'm
figure
not.
it out.
Yeah. But I believe that you commit to that person until whenever you want to get married. If you do get married, so a lot of people in our
All right.
generation don't like to.
So you threw in the love word. Okay, so when does love come into it? Because you can be dating, and
Yeah,
until you're dating, like, okay, now, so you love this person, now I'm committed?
I can't tell you right
I
now.
think
But I'm
just
just speaking
asking.
hypothetically.
I
That's a
think
good
when
word.
both people know, like
Yeah,
I'm not
you know.
looking when I'm not looking for nobody else. Like this is where I want to be. You know, this is where she wants to be. Then we make this agreement. So
Yeah.
then, like we're committed.
But that's very malleable. Think about it.
Good words tonight. Good words.
Excuse me.
You hear these words?
No.
Malleable.
Like, you have to give definition for the people that don't.
malleable.
malleable.
It's clay, something that's
It can
movable
move.
in a movable
It can
state.
move.
Yeah,
Soft.
absolutely.
So like,
Yeah.
if you have
Play-Doh.
any human being, we are guided. We think we're guided by our consciousness mainly. We think, oh, Devontae, he's got all the control. He knows exactly what he's doing. But really, no. What's got control is Devontae's body. All right.
Yeah.
And if I don't take control of what my body is doing, right, then my body. What is an emotion? An emotion is the brain connecting to the body. And that's how your body tells your brain what's going on. So if you feel bad, let's say when you feel hungry, what is that? That's a feeling. You're like, ugh.
And I need food.
It's so crazy to me
Yes,
how
indeed.
you make such complex things so simple.
Right? I'm telling you, it's simple.
Crazy.
But look,
It's crazy, but you believe it?
No,
it's like,
it's not. I like how you think. You know what I'm saying?
you.
How people take complex
That's
things
a
and make
gift.
them simple.
It is a gift.
It is a gift. That is truly a gift.
But-
Devontae he's a genius, man. This dude watches like 3-hour-long videos about all this stuff and like
I
absorbs
don't
it.
watch
You should
normal
be a
TV. I
theologian.
just sit and listen to people
Yeah.
talk about crap all day.
I got
so you
10
just get
minutes.
bored.
That's it. Like the one guy said, I got 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm
That's
gone.
it.
I have-
We
I have no
out.
boredom response, so it'll be like, and I'll listen to it for 5 hours. Like,
But then you have the ability to take what you just learned within those 5 hours and recite it back. Not a lot of people know how to do that and recite it back to where people understand it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you took this complex
Yes.
thing, you broke it down, and then you spit it back at us to where we could understand.
I bet
and
you
not
you
a lot
were
of
a
people know how to do that.
storyteller in a former life.
probably.
Like
I would imagine myself to be part of a
Yeah.
tribe.
Yeah. Like a
Yes,
storyteller.
the wise men.
The wise
Mm-hmm.
man.
Y'all took me off subject. What were
The
we talking
Rafiki,
about?
We
if
talking about
will.
you are the wise man.
No.
No, but I mean
No.
before that.
Are you single until you're married? Yeah,
Until I'm-
man.
And why?
And why?
Look, look, look.
Oh, we left that.
You were talking about commitment. When we talking about being in a relationship, you feel me? Like,
You
are
was
you
breaking
actually with
down
that
emotions.
person?
Oh,
What's
okay. Yeah, there we
love
go.
got
So,
to do-
like, an emotion is the way your body communicates to your mind, right? So, if your body's feeling something, if you have some
Yes,
chemical,
Tina.
like for instance, if you have like dopamine is the chemical that drives you to take a step towards a goal,
Correct.
but it's not the goal. So, if you control that system, you can control yourself throughout the day. You know what I mean? Like same thing within a relationship. So if your relationship is constantly flowing, constantly moving, normally it's within the person's lifestyle. That's nothing to do with your relationship. So that's why people cause so much anger within their relationship, because the person will come to them crazy and they're like, whoa, I have never done this. They're taking on everything that person is throwing at them, right? Even though they don't know that's coming from that person being hungry. Or that's coming from that person being lack of sleep.
Well, I'm getting better at telling you I'm tired and hungry, so I don't have to.
I'm tired of being tired and I'm hungry.
And I
That's
need
when
a cheeseburger.
therapy comes into play, and
Having a listening
you
ear.
know, yeah, and being able
transparent,
to
yes.
have those conversations as an adult, you
In
know,
a good vulnerable
because
setting.
a lot of people who are in those situations lack that ability, and it's not really because
You're right.
It's not anymore because they just simply don't know how, because nobody taught them. It's because they're okay with being ignorant.
You're right.
Very intellectual
No,
podcast.
she's absolutely right.
But until
It's like
you're
it's
taught,
not.
do you really know what's going on?
Because if you're
No.
an adult,
Right.
if you're an adult, you have the ability to learn.
Yes, we have
But
it
it's,
right
it's
here.
up to you.
What's the
it's up
definition
to
of an
you.
adult?
Fling.
Hey, say that one more time.
What's the definition
What is
of an
it?
adult? Because like I can be 27, 28 all day, but I
19
can have
adult.
not grown up in my
You could be
past
18
life,
and be
right?
an adult.
And not know what happened. But I can be 16, raise my family, raise my brothers and sisters, and
true.
have my
That's
adult
true.
communication.
Thank God
so
I didn't go through that.
I think that it all comes down to what have you learned as an adult or non-adult. What have you learned through your lifetime? What have you actually gone through? And what makes you know that this is a time to communicate? And a lot of times therapy leaves you there. So I completely agree that therapy can lead you to some stuff that you never can imagine. And Black people are very against therapy.
Therapy-
I mean, therapy is not bad.
Therapy is not bad. It is
It's not
excellent.
Therapy is cool, by the way, y'all.
It
You
is.
might
A lot of
have to
people-
Everybody go to
Yeah.
therapy.
But you
But
see,
I
black
just-
people have a problem with therapy.
Why though? I
We
wonder
don't like
why.
being transparent.
Because
No, we don't like being told
we
about
don't
ourselves.
mind being
Vulnerable.
transparent. But
Because
the
that's
thing
what
is,
we've
black
been
people are
taught.
very connection oriented. So as in like I'm not speaking on any race specifically, but other people,
Speak on us,
let's say
bro.
all people.
No, speak on us.
Other
Fuck
than
it.
black people, right? Normally are comfortable with going to a person named
Facts.
Jennifer, not knowing her at all, and going, look, my husband, he slept with my sister, and I had to.
Well, that's because,
a
like,
black
that other person
a
doesn't know
black
anything
person
about
is like, I don't know you, so you can't give me any advice about my life because you don't know me. It's a respect
Right.
thing.
But I have a question though. Why is our culture, black people, why are we so
Respect-oriented?
against therapy? I know our generation
Respect.
is starting
Because
to get
we-
into it.
We don't want to be defined as crazy.
You know,
'Cause you
and
think
it's
that
that
every
urban
person.
black
I hear that.
narrative, man. It's that urban black narrative.
Like, what's the urban
You
black
gotta
narrative?
pull yourself up from the bootstraps.
Absolutely.
You gotta be
Toughen
a
up,
man.
toughen up.
Yours.
Get a little
You
tough.
gotta
Came
be a
up from the
man.
bottom.
You can't have, and that's the slave narrative too. You
Exactly.
feel me? Like
Exactly.
that's how they
We're stuck.
That's how they talk to the slaves, and you know what I'm saying. And a lot of people, it's hard for them to break that. You know, so it's kind of like your grandfather taught your father that, and your father taught his sons and such
Right.
and such. You know, so
I think it stems from family. You know, your
There's that
emotions
too.
aren't validated, especially as
Yeah.
a child. If you cry, shut up. You
Especially
feel
in the
me?
black
It's
community.
one of them.
Yeah.
It's childhood.
Black parents specifically, I'm not speaking on anybody. I don't know how anybody that's a parent in here parents. What I'm saying is black parents, in my experience, have no compassion.
No.
And they have no awareness that their child is a real
Absolutely.
person.
But they weren't
Absolutely.
even shown that as a kid.
Hey, we're falling
It's
into this thing
general-
of where we're grouping everybody.
Yeah,
Right.
it's,
Right.
it's
It's not
general.
black parents. You
That's-
cannot
it's
tell me
just
my mom
everybody.
does not understand my emotions.
Okay.
That's
You can't tell me my
general.
mom does not understand
Okay,
what
so
I'm doing.
what I'm
But
saying,
he
But,
didn't
it's,
say
but
that,
she
though.
said
I
right where
should
it's
say-
generational
It's
trauma.
It's generational trauma for sure.
Absolutely.
And I think that even some of our parents kind of was like, all right, you tripping. Like, I'm not about to be like how my mom was. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard to come out of because that's all you know. But like I was saying, when you become an adult or a parent, it is your choice rather than now to learn how to communicate and how to understand your child or how to understand your own traumas so that you don't traumatize your child. You know?
How does one go through that? So say if I don't have the money to go to a therapist, how would I be able to find my voice?
I've never been to a
live?
therapist yet. I go through that every day because
I know, but
I am forced to do that by my own consciousness.
Yeah,
because
but
of
you're a
feedback.
different entity besides her.
So, but listen to him. Like, so in theory, you can't like the internet. Google is a hell of a drug. That's that's one of my quotes. Google is a hell of a drug, right? So there's things like YouTube. There's things like Netflix. Like, we have so many
Don't
different platforms
underestimate.
that we have that we don't actually dig into because we're
Don't
taught to
underestimate,
look at the
yeah.
surface level things. We're taught to look at things like Selena, the whole new series, or all this depressing shit that's not even real. There are so many shows that you can go and watch and learn about people and the way that you think that we don't take advantage of because we're just not taught to. Like my mom watches Christmas movies all day long. But I've decided if I'm going to watch something, it's going to be educational. It's going to further who I am as a person.
Oh yeah.
And
So-
read a book.
Read a
Yes.
book.
You know
Let me-
niggas
There
don't
are
read.
so
The
many
library
books.
is free.
You know
Let me
niggas
tell
don't
you.
read.
Let me tell you
If they
something
don't
that
want you
black
to know
parents
something,
never
they're gonna put it in a
ask.
book.
A black parent will never ask their kid, like, for instance, something that would have helped me a lot when I was a kid. Now, I'm not saying my parents were not the greatest parents, because I have the greatest parents. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is that there's certain things that can be implemented in anything that was awesome.
Like what?
Absolutely.
But what anybody in my life could have done is nobody ever asked me when I was going through things as a kid, like, hey, you all right? Like, yeah, I'm good.
And
Everybody
I mean, and
says that.
genuinely
But
care.
then they really be like,
Yeah.
so you met any girls? Yeah. Okay.
Are
so
you an only
how is
child?
your schoolwork going? Yeah.
Team only
So
child.
Right.
let me tell you something. As far as I can't speak for everybody, but from what what's been shared with me and what I'm experienced, they've never been in that moment, in that time and space. They've never been that person. You know what I'm
Which
saying?
person?
A parent to a teenager or to a young man. You know what I'm saying? So while yes, it could have helped you, absolutely. They didn't know how. You know
No,
what
I
I'm saying?
understand that. What I'm saying is I understand that they didn't understand that at that point. What I'm saying is that it wasn't that I needed her to understand what I was going to tell her or my dad or anybody. It was more so it showed me that I could not have been the problem. Because when I was a kid, most of the things that happened to me as a young kid when I was 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, you know what I mean? It was like something would happen and I would be like, wow, I am a shit person. That is why that happened to me. But if I would have had a communication with somebody, I didn't think about it. I didn't see it as that. I wasn't thinking like this as a kid. This never crossed my head. I was just like, just move on. But I didn't know that was a jab in my side, and it actually damaged me. But I just kept walking. But if somebody would have been like, hey, that wasn't okay that she did that to you, or that wasn't okay that they did that to you.
Validate.
And I'm like, what do you mean it wasn't okay? I did that. No, you didn't do that. That was them. Then that would have made me remove an issue from the deep parts of my consciousness that I had to do at 24 or something.
But see,
like
a lot of, not what a lot of people
Yeah.
understand, but like everything has its timing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm learning. Like there are things that I'm being told now that like the Lord and I talk about like in my spirit now that He's telling me that I would not have been able to receive as a kid or when I was like in my younger 20s. So I mean like He brings stuff back to my memory, like back to my conscious, and He's like, oh, remember when this happened? Next time if you're given the opportunity to minister to someone, maybe that is your age, that is the age that you were referring to. You can tell them thus and so. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing just
You'll be surprised how hard that is.
Some things we don't learn until we're older.
I
think that's how it's meant to be. That's how it's meant to be though.
Yeah.
Because us as kids,
you appreciate it more than
Yeah.
too. As a kid,
it's kids, yeah.
I feel like sexual lessons, but not social lessons.
Well, I'd say that for myself, like socially
Like
and
when you're
sexually.
14,
like,
when you're 14 or 15, and you have a girl say, "Oh no to you," and you get hurt. That's supposed to
What the
happen.
fuck you mean? No.
But what I mean is like
love me.
a social
Love me.
issue. Like if somebody's like, for instance, what causes this huge influx of timidness we have in men now is because of no one being there for this. I think it's just when a man gets in a situation, like they feel like their friends outcasted them or whatever situation came forth. Our culture in black culture is to be like, get it together, bro. You all right? Or if there are no men to say get it together, nothing happens.
But is that
Black
not
narrative.
Is that not generational trauma? Because like that stems from back to what she was talking about in slavery, where okay, shit's going bad in the field, and the house dudes are telling like, hey yo, we gotta get together, we gotta put. I mean, it comes from generational trauma and then not realizing that life is a journey.
or
like,
just not knowing, like,
people
don't know. People do not know.
And it's okay not to know.
Right. And then you
It's
get
all right.
older and then you learn these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm noticing more and more now men are more open with being vulnerable about their emotions. And they're telling other men, especially black men, but they're telling other men, like, it's okay to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? And be okay with your emotions. Like, especially for
tough shit.
Yeah, black women too,
Tough,
like
nigga.
women as well. Like, it's okay to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you have to discern the setting in which you can use the platform. You know, because you can't express it with everybody, but you can express it with some people.
Of course, because growing up as a man, you always, grow, hey, you toughen up. Cut that, don't be crying, cut that soft shit out. You're like, damn.
Yeah, and
I'm
as
exhausted
a woman, you
of
grow
being
up, like,
tough.
handle it. Do what you gotta
goddamn,
do.
can I go cry
Suck
in
it
the
up.
room?
Get it done.
Tired.
And I think that's where the nurturing mother spirit comes in. Because I remember as a child, certain things would make me cry, and I just telling my mom, what's wrong with you? And I just tell her, and she tell me some real life shit. You feel me? And from her perspective, and it actually helped me.
Not everybody had that though.
I know not everybody has.
That's what I'm saying.
But you gotta recognize who you're talking to. Like, the most nurturing friend that I have is a male. Like, that is the person that I can probably go with anything, and like he'll give me the nurture that I need.
Why is that?
Yeah, that's
Because so that person in particular, we started college together and we've been through 10 years. So going through 10 years, he's a person who has taken the time to actually understand who I am. Besides my mother.
Soul
And
fammy.
that's a dynamic, you know what I'm saying? Like,
soul family.
males
Soul
naturally, come to females, and females naturally come to men because we need to balance ourselves.
I think females naturally come to their children more so than men.
I think you just gotta know who you're going to. You can't just
What
go to
is the
somebody
first
who
thing
you know.
that a woman says when she meets you if she has kids? My kids come first. Why? Because that's important to her.
I don't say that. I think a lot of women say that because they know that a lot of men who don't have kids
They don't understand.
don't understand. And
They don't understand sacrifice.
they don't. And you know what's crazy? men who do have kids seem to be more needy than the ones that do not. Only because
Are you needy?
He's like, yes.
only
I am needy. Yeah, I have.
only because
Hey, this real. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
honestly, I ain't gonna lie.
for some odd
Fuck
reason
yeah.
they associate. Well, I'm not gonna say for some odd reason. It's just that they, good fathers, give all of themselves to their children. So now I need you to be on me and to, love
I want
on
some
me
love.
and kiss on me. Fuck them kids, because I already gave them what they need. Now I need you,
It's
Give brother
replenishment.
Freedom some love out there, y'all.
I got enough. Thank you, though. Just give me a hug and we'll keep it pushing. But
I feel
like she
that.
said, most men don't understand that, and it's just finding.
Most men don't understand anything but themselves nowadays.
Oh yeah, but
And that's
even,
the
yeah.
dominant dynamic that you was trying to get me on. That's
Oh,
it,
Dominatrix
because-
is back.
because men don't get it. You need a woman to put it together for you.
So-
I love y'all
Ooh,
women.
I was
So-
listening to this.
What I'm saying is, the
go ahead.
self-centered. I think men naturally retract back faster because a man, in all of my experience, I can't say for all men,
Go for yours.
Yeah,
but
go,
in
come
my
on.
experience, all the men that I've known in their virgin state were the most loving people, and they intended to love. But what happens is they meet a few harsh creatures in their dating experience, one or two, normally maybe one or two, before every man is about ready to be like, yeah, to every woman, right? And that's their attitude to every relationship, because men don't recover like women. Women recover quickly. Even if a girl is hurt, like stabbed, like the guy just did everything he could have done to make her life horrible. 3 months or so, she's able to start dipping her feet in the water, and she's back. She's back, full effect. So women are very emotionally strong in that way. Men are not the emotionally strong creatures. We're the emotionally separate. So we separate ourselves from our emotions better than a woman, even though we have the same amount of emotion. But we cannot put our emotions down as easily because we have to be that way, because that's part of dominance. That's part of being stubborn, is part of dominance. So if you have a situation where you were hurt as a man,
Is that healthy though?
Yeah,
Separate
I was thinking the
emotions. Yeah,
same
about to
thing.
say.
I'm
it
about to
depends
wait.
on whether you think of toxic
Compartmentalizing.
masculinity or not, but it's
Oh,
healthy
that's a
for
good
masculinity.
topic. Toxic
But
masculinity.
it's healthy for masculinity
Yes.
to be that way, because you have to be stuck in your ways to be
Healthy
a masculine
for-
man. Because if
Listen.
you
What is a
aren't,
masculine man though?
what is masculinity? If
Listen.
you want to
Warrington,
define
next
that,
topic.
that's a long
What is
story.
a toxic masculinity man?
I mean,
Listen.
the majority of our culture, especially black culture, we've adapted to a toxic European standard of what a black man is supposed to be, but it's not us in true nature. You feel me? To be emotionally separated,
I don't think
it's
that's a
to me that's
requirement.
not healthy though.
I don't think it's a requirement to be emotionally separated. Like,
No, I'm saying, but that's what you said.
We
to be
switch
emotionally.
roles. We switch roles with white people.
Code switch.
Yeah.
White people used to be the savage ones and doing
feel
all of
me?
that fucked up ass shit, and we were the loving ones. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we literally switched.
I don't think we switched.
Just took on what
We compartmentalize. Like it's code switching. Like I'm in corporate America, so like I go to work and I switch who I am to fit the
You wanna
the
fit in.
dynamic. Not even just fit in. It's just like
called
I
playing
want
along. It's
to
part of being a
get through
human.
my day where I ain't got to argue with nobody. I get to go to work.
Fuck
Yeah.
them, do you?
cooperation.
No, that's like here's the
Cooperation,
thing, and
yeah.
then they're trying to be better, saying like, "Oh, do you bring your full self to work?" I'm like 0. No, 1 out of 5. No, 0. Like I don't know. There's no
Yeah.
way that you bring your full self to work,
go
right?
night-night.
As far
It's
as a
work.
black person,
It's
it's
work.
work.
It's work.
There's no way you can tell me I can bring my full self to work. And
They
like
won't accept that.
the thing about it is like as
Won't be
black
had no
people,
jobs.
we
No, hell no.
compartmentalize. That's who we are. We compartmentalize. We bring a certain person to work. We go home, have a certain person. We with our kids, a certain
Absolutely,
person, and then we
absolutely.
walk away, and we're a
Absolutely.
certain person.
I agree.
And that goes back to like the theory of the black man and masculinity. We're a certain person because we think that's where we should be at that moment.
Exactly. So masculinity is something that you're convinced of.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mas-
only difference
it's
between
just
a
a
man,
theory.
I think, yes, we have chemicals that aid this process.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, a woman has estrogen, testosterone, all of these things work together, and I'm not gonna get into all of that, but yes, there are some chemical processes that make men and women different. But
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, what makes us behave differently as we do is the fact that a man is convinced that he's got it. A woman is convinced that she can take care of it. There's a difference.
And I think too is just to fit in is the standard. Because if I
Correct.
act soft, I'm gay. If I do this, I'm
Effectively.
less.
But
They
think
always
about
said
it.
that
That's
too.
the masculine
Yeah,
standard.
and that's why I said it's toxic.
Toxic
But
masculinity.
for me to be myself, if I cry
It's
because I'm built
it's
up,
involuntary. Think
Yeah.
about it. If we drop below a certain level, they won't like us anymore.
But
That's
it
what
don't-
is the problem.
But that's the issue.
Or sorry,
If she
Jackie,
doesn't like
too.
me because I'm softer,
women.
if she doesn't like me because I'm softer, that's not the woman for me. I need to be soft in my own nature. I need to be true in essence to myself.
I'm
no,
starting.
I'm not-
I'm not looking
for
I'm
it.
starting to
You feel
fleet
me?
in that
gotta-
belief.
you gotta
I used to
find your
believe that too.
rib.
Yeah.
I
feel me?
used to believe that, but
Come on.
What happened? What happened to
on.
you that
not
made you
to
not
me
believe in that?
specifically.
Listen, who hurt you, baby?
That's what I'm saying.
No, nobody has hurt me. But look. What I'm saying is specifically what I'm saying is if I believe that in a relationship where there's dominant and submissive, the roles have to remain defined, or else the relationship is not dominant and submissive.
And
I mean-
I'm sorry that it's so simple for you like that, but baby, that's not how it works.
I was about to say for me it's
Not at
different.
all.
Like I
It's always
She sound like
evolving.
a
Not
mama.
at all.
I don't
That's not how it
consider
works.
like
So effectively in your life, there's no constant of that. So you want. So you would date the weakest
bring
of
you in.
men
But she's
if
about
he
to
was
literally
strong.
describe it. She's literally about to describe it.
Go ahead.
for
Go
me,
ahead,
like
Sis
I
Chantel.
don't look at it as like dominant and submissive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see it as balance.
I'm talking about your subconscious, not your conscious.
Well, I'm talking about my conscience. Like I see it as like balance. You know what I'm saying? And even in my subconscious, like I'm not about to sit here. You need to go out. You need to hustle. You need to do that and bring the bread home. And I cook and clean and do. I'm not doing all of that. You make money. I make money. You
Facts.
cook. I cook. You clean. I clean.
And I like
You
to
raise the
talk, I
kids.
talk.
Yeah,
I raise the kids.
I'm
You
also
know what
like
I'm
that.
saying?
I like
And
the
we
50-50.
converse. And you know what I'm saying? Build together. Like it's not like a oh, you know, I'm gonna be submissive to you because you're my man, or
Not even
no, I'm
that.
gonna be dominant because I
Of
want to do what I
course,
want to
but
do. Like
you're
that's
talking
not
about
what I'm
daily
trying
life.
to do.
You're talking
But
about
those
daily
bring the
life.
most toxic situations where you think there has to be a dominant and someone who's submissive.
Exactly.
And it's
That's the most
stressful.
toxic
It is so
And-
stressful.
And I just want to bring in because this is my cousin. So she grew up with our grandparents.
Yeah.
My grandfather 6'2", big as fuck. Our grandma 5'4", little frail woman, but she's the dominant.
Yeah.
And she lets it be known.
Yeah,
You
period.
feel me? but if Clem Sigger tell you to go get your ass up, you getting up.
Period.
You feel me?
On the roof.
But it's a
Man.
role. You know, they're both evenly exchanged. They'll challenge each other, but it's even. It's not
Yeah.
to undermine you.
Don't you think that's respect, but who's really in control?
No.
But no, it's not
It's
a control.
not,
It's
though.
like, but it's the first
It's
part.
respect.
It's respect because I know you. I know you're dominant as a nature, but I can complement that as a man. I can feed into that because I love this dominant side
Yes.
of you.
That's
I love you. Can
respect.
take control. But
Right.
that's on every level.
But who's really in control?
But the theory is
Both
not.
of
It's
them
not
are.
black and white.
Why are we denying that there is somebody that is
No, there's
ultimately?
No, I'm about
nobody
to-
is ultimate. And that's
There's
why
balance.
It's a
because if he
healthy
tell her no,
relationship.
it's
She
no.
gonna listen.
If he say, "Gail, we not going here. I don't want to go there." She okay.
Man, or if she
But if
says,
she
no,
say,
I'm not doing it.
Go pick up
I
some
don't feel
chicken.
like-
He gonna
He
get
gonna
his ass
do it.
up and go get that chicken.
Lump of bell
You feel
pepper and
me?
an onion.
So it's very
some bread.
even.
It's balanced.
I think
balance.
I think you're looking for a black and white answer, and the reality
Yeah,
is
and
it's gray.
not.
It's
and
not
you-
black and white. It's gray.
It's balance of the power dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to have your rib to be ordered.
And I think
to
we've
have
just
that.
found out why our divorce rate is 80%.
But
I don't
ours
know.
ain't
What
high
does that
though.
mean?
No, but wait.
But in our community,
Our generation not gonna be high, I think, because a lot of us ain't getting married.
Just
You look at us
Yeah.
right now. Anybody here married?
and we're not.
Not
saying-
My
yet.
parents got married at 20.
I
Don't
like that.
Yeah, I'm
I like
speaking that in my
if
life.
y'all watching my fault.
It's coming.
No, for
Speaking
real.
into
You hear me?
existence.
He said if y'all watching my.
Yeah, because my parents got married, I think, at 28. I was here when they was 29, so they got married at 27, 28. I'm 28 right now. I don't see myself getting married, so I feel like that divorce rate for our generation, well, me, ain't gonna be high.
I don't
For me.
divorce rate. We got to get the marriage rate. Like
Boom.
in theory,
There
the
you go.
marriage rate is not going to be as high as because we're all independent. We've been taught to be independent.
I was just about to say, we
I
have
do
this
my own
mentality.
shit.
You
Like,
gotta make
women
my
and
money
men.
first.
Don't
And,
you
like,
see that the
nobody
wiring
cares.
for men and women are something that's been being in development for thousands of years, the way our
course.
roles work. Okay, now just because our society can afford for you guys to not have to do the things that you have to do and can afford for us to not have to do the things that we previously had to do does not mean that the wiring is still laid in that way.
But you
But we
realize
don't
the
even-
only thing that is constant is change, right?
I'm about to say we've evolved as,
Like,
as an
we're-
entity.
The only
then,
thing
like-
that's constant is changing. We're always going to evolve. We're always going to be doing
Yeah, but
something
what?
different.
How long does it take for
Because
the
man don't
body
just bring
and the
home the
mind
bacon
to
all the
evolve
time. You feel
versus
he
our
cook and take
actual
care of them
activity?
kids.
The body and the mind are going to evolve over the course of thousands of years.
Correct.
Our society evolves every 10 years.
Correct.
True, but with that, like, you have to go in your own lane.
It's
And how much has been
adaptation, though.
What I'm
propaganda?
saying is that
because
the-
you think most people are married at generations because
I'm
society told you get
Yeah,
married, you get a
yeah,
house.
yeah.
This is how you
25,
this
gotta
is-
get married.
This is
Your
how you
wife-
Yeah.
operate. And so now we're a different generation of thinking. So we're like, you know what? I don't want to be married. I'm fucked up. You feel me? I don't want to be with this fucked up. You feel me? We gonna be fucked up together.
So
So
inherently,
we're
have we conquered loneliness, or has the depression rate
No.
spiked?
But,
since
No,
that
it's
but that's something you
changed.
find in yourself.
In theory, like, women weren't allowed to have bank accounts till like 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, let's really think about
Yeah.
that. We weren't allowed to be independent till
So
about
in order
40
for
years
us to
ago.
be a person, we had to be with a person.
Exactly.
Literally.
In order for us to have any type
It
of
was a
life, we
dependence.
had
to
to
have
be with
status,
somebody.
you had to have a man.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Literally.
If you didn't, something was wrong.
Literally.
That's facts.
Yeah.
If you was over the age of like 28 without a
Something was wrong.
husband,
What's wrong with
oh,
you?
baby.
I am not
You a
at
hoe in these
argument.
streets.
You don't got a man, girl. You crazy.
No.
Girl, I got a
Money was
cousin.
under mattress.
I
That's
am
what it
not-
was.
I got a cousin.
Okay.
He got a job.
I am not at argument
Ew.
with women's rights. at
No, you
all.
don't need to be. I'm just saying, like,
No, we
you
love
have
our
to
ladies.
admit that things change, and the reality
I
is
am
that,
admitting that.
when
Drink
things
the mic.
change, when women are allowed to have bank
Drink
accounts,
the
women are allowed
mic.
to be
Well, let's
independent, then you got to
We
think the
taking that
relationship
shit and
status is
running with
different.
it.
Black women has always been the strongest.
Always.
And it
Always
took
been
us
the strongest.
forever.
But effectively, don't you
I didn't get on my hoodie.
immobilize? Okay, so if if you guys can take a dual purpose, but men can't take a dual purpose, isn't that
what?
going to leave you guys for some yearning?
Wait, why can't men take a dual purpose?
That's what I'm about to
Okay,
say.
I'm just confused about that.
We can't
Now,
have
when we
children.
said Bill what's
Okay,
Oh, that's what you.
so you're talking about having? I mean, but adoption is real.
Okay,
we're talking-
adoption is definitely a
So-
thing.
We're talking about the
No, few
chemical
people-
process versus how our brains are working with each other. So,
Okay.
like,
So
in what I'm saying is, what's causing arguments? What's
sorry.
causing the problem that's creating that divorce
Gotta be
rate?
honest.
Is what I'm talking about. What is causing is so that people don't want to get married. What is causing is so that we're now the average age for marriage is 28.7
I
for
like
men,
it.
People are driven towards
right?
other things.
Or
Success.
29.6
So
for
people
men
aren't settling.
and 28
Period.
for women.
Yes.
So you're saying that, like, if I'm gonna get me in a relationship.
So
in
well, okay,
theory-
so
Divine
now we're
Feminine
getting
Attack.
now
Think
we're
about
getting
it.
into hypergamy.
Whoa. Sorry.
Now we're getting into
Think about it.
hypergamy. So you just said something very vital. You said I'm not settling.
Okay.
So what are you looking for? In
me
like
get my man.
so the set.
Let me
Right now, make it
Hold on.
Look, so
This area right here.
Yes.
this is what I want. I got three girls here to
Spicy
talk to you
right
about
here.
this.
It's
But
real spicy
Yes,
right
but
here.
as a
I'm
man
like,
too,
Jackie
I
O'Barr.
don't think most women are really looking as. I mean, there's a high
There
percentage
you
of
go.
society, but
There you go.
women aren't looking for a man. I'm not looking for a woman. If it happens, it
I'm
just
not raising my hand and
happens.
saying
Okay.
I'm
You
looking.
feel
I'm
me?
just-
Journeys
Raise your
collide.
hand 'cause you got something to say.
Journeys
Yes.
collide for a reason. You feel me? And I think that's where majority of us are understanding. When you go out looking for shit, you get bums, you get shit. You feel me? But I'm not attracting who I need to be with because I'm still hurting, because I'm toxic
Yeah.
in nature. So I'm attracting the same thing that I am.
Preach.
So I have to heal. So then I attract what I deserve.
manifest.
You feel me?
Attract and
Manifest.
manifest.
So
Preach up
it
in
takes
here.
a while.
What
you
you
feel
I
me?
don't believe in attraction.
So
I don't
what
believe
did you
in
have
being
to say?
I'm
attracted.
getting off
Hold on,
this
Chantel got to say
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, she
I was
raised
gonna
her
say-
hand. She raised her hand.
I was gonna say that, like, when you aren't looking, that's when it comes into fruition.
Yeah.
Like, you already know deep inside just
Well,
right, okay, you already know deep inside yourself.
Well.
Okay, I want to be with somebody. I want to, be married, have children. If that's what you want to do, you already know. But when you hard working and you focused on, you know what I'm saying, progressing and moving forward, that's when it
yourself.
comes, because he or she is supposed to add to you, not deplete.
Exactly.
And so y'all can journey and press forward together. Like, it's not like a suffering or struggling thing.
And that's what I'm saying. When you know, like, to know, and I think that's because most people don't know if they were meant to be with their partner. You feel me? I think people settle for their partner because, we met at this time. You had a good job. I had a good job. You wanted kids. We had a kid. You feel me?
You don't think
Situations.
people date people by necessity for what they needed from that person at
Absolutely.
that time?
Of course.
That's what relationships are.
That's what it
Majority of
is
the time.
right now.
Yeah,
That's
right
how,
now.
That's how
I
people
don't.
are right
So
now.
how could
Some
you let
people
that
do.
come naturally?
You don't.
But
You
we're
don't.
taught that, though.
Let me tell you something.
Granted,
if
I'm
you
not
wanna
saying
fuck,
I've never-
You gonna fuck, period.
Better say that shit.
say that shit. Dominatrix. I want to fuck.
I don't care who you are, okay? You can be looking for the man of your dreams, but if you want to fuck and you tired of flicking that bean, baby boy,
That's how I feel.
you gonna go and find you
There
something
you go.
to fuck on.
So
Tired of doing
what I'm
what?
saying is,
I ain't tired,
effectively,
Flicking the bean, girl. Flicking the bean.
Flicking the bean.
Boing,
I'm
boing,
saying
boing,
that.
So-
Flick that bean.
so what
flicking
I'm
that
saying
bing?
is everything that I've been shot down for are masculine-centric concepts.
What does that mean?
So what I mean is our society
I
right
need
now
to
is
know.
a gynocentric society.
I'm sorry,
I
start
just
over. I was
asked you-
laughing.
I just asked
They
you who
attack
hurt
you, Devontae.
Okay.
They attack you.
I'm not. I'm being
Ask again.
I'm
Ask
sorry.
again.
Now you talking
It's okay.
about
This is
us.
therapy session.
Therapy
Now-
session.
Okay, and it's for free.
It's free
And
therapy.
now you saying
I'm gonna send you the bill in the mail.
what you being turned down for, okay? So
What I'm being turned down for? Wait,
you
wait.
just
No,
said
what
what
you
I
said.
said.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
but
no, I
he's
didn't say
also
that.
given his life experiences.
I didn't say that. What is you talking?
Are you drunk right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Have some more drink.
Wait.
Pass him to Rossi.
Am
real
I that
quick.
drunk? What I've been turned down for? I said.
No, what did you say?
I might need
I
some
said
more.
this. That's that. I said what I've been.
No, come on.
I said
Y'all
what I've
gotta
been.
finish-
What all
get
the
it out.
shot things that I've been shot down for tonight. What with concepts I've said, not who I've been turned down by. I've been
What
that's what I heard.
concepts
But
have you
you ain't
said?
say that though.
No, I meant
ladies
concepts as
got
in
you,
like
bro.
all the
It's
concepts
okay.
that I put out
We gonna let
tonight
him live. We gonna let him
Yeah,
live.
have
let
been
him flow.
masculine-centric concepts.
And what does that mean? That's what I
That
said.
means that if I say, "Oh, a man is the dominant thing," women hear it like in that voice. "Oh, a man is the dominant thing." No, what I'm saying is, in the general view of the role, women see it as a chauvinist statement. So what I'm not
Okay.
being chauvinist when I say
Okay.
a man is the dominant role, and we know that. What that means is that. The way you looking at me is making me.
No.
Understand? She's
No.
She's listening.
I'm listening. I'm not judging you. Please continue.
He was looking like.
Okay, look.
Because
look,
I don't. I
That's-
wanted to understand.
That's how Tail
understand.
thinks.
I understand.
No.
She's just processing what
No,
you're saying.
and I don't have my
I
facial
understand.
Yeah, no,
expression.
she don't. She's
So
processing.
please don't
I
think
Okay,
that
I
I'm
feel
feeling
like
away.
our
The computer's
long-term
moving.
makeup as human beings has a coding in which to get the positive response that we want called happiness, which is a cookie our mind bakes for ourselves when we do a good job for the wiring that it thinks is the way to go a good job. So when we're happy, we're headed somewhere we think we're doing a good job. Like, oh, I'm doing good. I'm getting closer to my career. I'm getting better with my girl. Whatever you're doing, you know.
So you just need affirmation.
You need affirmation as you're headed along the line, and
Of
that's
course.
happiness. So what I'm saying is, if a man and a woman is going to be in a relationship together, there's certain wiring that's laid in the background of our brain that needs to be appeased. That
Of
might
course.
not be Chantel or might not be Devontae. It just is ancient male and female wiring that requires a certain thing to appease your baby making parts as well as mine.
Can I just
Get
say this
deep.
too though?
And after you're done,
Yeah,
we're gonna move to the
can't
next
get
topic.
this
But go ahead.
But I
Mons.
gotta
Oh,
say
after
something.
y'all two, go ahead. Go ahead.
So appeasing baby making parts.
So what I mean by baby making, let me elaborate on that before
Sex.
you shoot it down. Wait, look.
The
So
dick.
what I mean is the
Pussy.
parts of our brain that have been developed to keep us alive as a species. So if a woman chooses a weak male to father her children in the
weak nigga.
past, she's going to die by animal, or he's not going to be able to hunt to correctly get her food.
So you're talking about animalistic.
Right.
Can I just say this though?
So she needs to choose by her subconscious reasoning that this man, your reasoning when you look at a guy and you go, "Ooh, he's sexy." You're not saying that from a point of something that you decided last night on Pinterest. It's something that it's been there for 1,000 years that makes that guy sexy.
Yeah, I know.
Beauty's
I
in the
feel
eye,
that.
in the eye of the beholder. So in theory, no.
No.
But I'm gonna let
No,
her go.
I feel what you're saying though, because when women are pregnant, dudes hit on women when they pregnant more because they know that we
I
can
heard that.
reproduce. Now,
Stop.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna say this too though.
You gonna catch me.
As far as
pregnant?
thousands of years ago, like yes, we've gone through all these kind of changes and shit like that. But women actually have organs to reproduce asexually, so we don't need you, honey.
Asexually, wait.
You're
Lord.
She about to go deep with this
We
one.
just hopped into another
you.
one.
Where?
You're just here as a part of evolution. You feel me? We forgot how to use those organs,
Devontae's about to
but
get
we
ready.
do have those
You
organs.
see his loading up. It's
Yeah,
like
Actually,
75%.
We do have those organs.
76%.
I think that the
77.
carrier role
Put your pastor
would have
hand
had
down.
to come behind the creation role because we have infinite creation. Women have a
forgot my
finite
point.
amount of eggs, but we need each other. That's what I'm saying. No man or no woman is more important than the other.
That's what I was gonna say. The right person that's supposed to be in your life with you to the day you hit the dirt is going to understand you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying every day will be perfect.
That's an effort. That won't
I'm just
happen.
saying.
He won't. He does not exist right
Everybody
now.
get
The person
everybody
who will
get
understand
left.
Chantel
look,
the most.
No, because
Everybody
it's
get
all
left.
about your expectations. If unspoken expectations is premeditated,
That's all I see.
Period.
What I'm
premeditated
saying,
resentment.
Because
so
guess
like
what?
if you expect somebody to be there and be there in a certain light, but you never tell them,
everybody
there's
get
no way
left.
that thing's gonna be
Why
successful.
would they?
Everybody get left. Adam got
because
left.
that's what you're expecting. You're expecting.
Adam
right?
got
I'm
left.
expecting what?
No, I'm just
Okay.
saying like any person in general. Like if I'm expecting this man to be there for me in a masculine sense, like I need that. Like if I fuck up, say some wild shit on the street, I expect him to have my back.
Period. Pull up.
What you mean by wild shit though?
Ooh, no, don't
That-
worry
now
about
you
that.
taking
What
it
I'm
there.
saying is
what I'm talking-
if I'm having an intoxicated moment and I'm saying like if I get wild with my words,
What you mean?
and I'm
And some dude.
What you mean
we
by
ain't gonna go
wild?
that far. If I get wild with my words, I'm
Little
expecting my
detail.
dude to like back me up, and he doesn't. That's a masculinity you're referring to, correct?
No.
Okay, then what
Toxic
masculinity you're
What
referring to?
masculinity I'm talking about is just
Two more people,
it's-
next question.
It's slight. It's in your behavior. It's in your
Two more
slight.
people.
But
little
that's
behavior.
expectation.
No. For instance, if I had a girlfriend, first of all, I'm too intelligent for that. So if my girl goes off at the mouth and starts going crazy
We're-
at some
we're talking
some
about
guy,
expectations.
and then he
We're not
like,
talking
yeah,
about what she's
yeah,
doing.
bitch.
No, I'm
I'ma
not
be
saying
like,
that was never my
I-
definition. So you put words
I
into
can't
my
wait
mouth.
till he meets
But
somebody.
She's
But
saying protective.
I'm saying
being
if you
protective.
expect me to
Smart.
have you masculinity, your
too
masculinity
intelligent
to
for that,
protect
honey.
me in
That's what
any
he
sort of sense or way, and I don't tell you I expect you to do this of me, then that's premeditated resentment.
Period.
I just
Everybody-
That's my
That's
point.
Women
I
will live
just
off of
said that's
premeditated
premeditated
resentment.
resentment.
So when
But
was the
some-
last time
but
you
some
like?
women
So
don't
you
Two more
that.
minutes.
You
Two
women
more
are
minutes.
y'all go up to y'all man every time you have a single issue with him and let him know in the clearest form you could possibly and go, excuse me, so what you did last night was
That's
you,
real communication.
I've
It
never
is.
experienced that. Like not
Like
that's
I
my
If you've
said,
never
when you
experienced it,
meet
that's
the
okay.
person
That's
that
real
is for
But think about it.
you,
But think about it. Wouldn't that make you male? So what?
That would not make you male. That make
It
you
would make me
being able
female.
to communicate.
So, no.
assisting you in your journey.
No. So
as
what
you should assist
separates
me.
what separates our communication styles as women and men? So men communicate what? By words
after
and
you.
logic. So let me describe it like this. So it
That's
sounds
not
like
true.
I can't
So
wait
let me-
till you
let me-
meet somebody and she
Object.
just and they have.
It's a he gonna meet him a goddess. Don't worry.
I
Look.
know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Look.
he's coming to show totally
in-
different.
That's incorrect.
So when me and Justin talk, when me and Justin listen,
Man.
listen.
But hey guys,
women are
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, these
It
are all
starts
facts. But
here,
look, when
it
me and
ends
Justin
here.
talk, Justin,
he bringing
we
you in the
talk.
conversation. You better pay.
We talk.
Oh, we talk all the
We
time
might
like this.
sit in the car and I'm saying, yeah, man, blase, blase, blah, blase, blase, blah, and he's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
blase, blase, blah.
Let's go along with
you
it,
see the
man.
eye contact? We're looking forward, but we might make eye
missed it.
contact under.
I
Right,
missed it.
but see, women when they communicate on average, they make complete eye contact with
I
each
don't.
other.
I'm sorry. I don't.
Well,
I
on
look here,
average.
there.
But aren't you just
Obviously.
making an assumption of what all women are, and
I
that's
think
not
so.
really what
I was
it
gonna
is?
say we're
Like, that's what we-
I'm not speaking
I
on
think
all
it-
women as
1
a
minute.
topic, but you have to accept that all women have features that make them women, and all men have features that make them men. We cannot deny the fact that we are separate creatures just because we want to seem equal.
Okay,
But
but
it-
that does not prove the fact that you're gonna meet somebody one day and she's just gonna be your equal.
And until you create that connection and that communication, you're gonna be in the same spot until. You
And
meet
he's
somebody
gonna be
who-
able to
who can actually
create that with her,
communicate you.
and it's
And
gonna
you-
be a
why are you
wrap.
saying
Devontae
that?
needs some pussy tonight, y'all.
No, but in all
Anybody on
honesty,
live
like,
watching Devontae Tompkins on Facebook?
in all honesty, you still have yet to meet your equal that's able to compliment you,
Period.
and
Smile
that's
like
what
hell,
I'm
yeah.
saying.
Because God made
But I've
man
met
and
plenty
woman
of
for the
girls I've been
balance.
happier with.
He didn't make man and woman to one to
They
be
not here right now.
superior, one to be lower. He made it for the balance.
But we are
Why-
balanced in our relationship.
It's
But
all-
you just said
What I'm saying is that we're talking about in behavior. We're talking about
me say one more
sub-communications
thing.
and behavior.
Alright,
When
it's
we're
gonna
going
go
to
off.
choose
Hold
food, I'm not. No, we're going to Olive Garden. That's what's happening. No, none of that is what I'm talking about.
Alrighty, y'all. I'm sorry, but we're on to the next topic. We got to be a little more organized with the podcast now. Brother Freedom has one more thing to say before we move on to the next
I
topic.
just
Go
think
ahead.
understanding it's only divine feminine divine masculine, but the wiring is different with every individual. You feel me? There is no set standard for Chantel. There is no set standard for her. Everybody's different along their journeys. You've encountered different women from all different types. And I know you can say, well, she was a little better at this. Her communication was better at this. Well, she was just a freak.
And
You
same
feel
for
me?
men.
And then it's the same for men. So what you've experienced, might influence your thought process now, but it's accepting that everyone is different.
There's one thing that is always going to turn a man on.
What?
Right? Let's
Fat
talk
ass.
about that. The one thing that is always going to turn a man on is
After
the
you're done, we
waistline.
gotta move on. After you're done, we gotta move on.
Next.
He
I'm
had
sorry,
the last
y'all.
word. He's like, wait
After
a
you're
second.
done, we gotta move on.
Look,
Go ahead.
don't
Go
get me
ahead.
started. Like,
Finish up. Go
I'm
ahead.
saying, just like there's always going to be things about a woman that turns a man on, there's always going to be things about a man that turns a woman on and keeps her happy.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
So that's my point. My point is that there's certain aspects about masculinity and certain things that need to remain within a man in order for her to be happy subconsciously. And if not, she's going to create a bunch of behaviors and then submit reasons to him for herself. I'm doing this because of this. No, you're doing this because your man is less than.
All right.
Okay,
I'm
you
good.
can
no,
think
no,
that.
no,
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 I'm
no,
going
no,
to say that. He can think that. That's okay. We're gonna-
Next
Yeah,
topic.
yeah, we're good. We're good.
Are friendship breakups similar to relationship breakups?
Yeah.
No.
No,
Oh,
What'd
it
you
is.
say?
it is.
Oh, it
I
is.
hear no. I hear yes.
What did you say?
Our
Our-
friendship breakups similar to relationship breakups.
Yeah.
It depends on the level of the relationship.
But is your yes or no?
No.
I'm just curious.
no.
Okay.
I'm saying yes.
Yes.
I'm saying yes.
No.
I'm saying yes.
Yes.
It depends on which friend it is.
Yes.
But
no,
then
my
that's a
brother.
potential yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm both sides. Because if
can
we barely kicked it, then I don't give a shit.
Well,
but
that's
if
not a
like
friend,
you were,
then.
I mean, a friend
Do
that
it
has
to me.
different levels. You feel me?
I can say yeah.
Yeah.
Because a relationship is like a relationship. I know everybody thinks off rip it's like with somebody
Oh, yeah.
else,
Yeah.
But I think so.
You
I
can
think
have
so.
friendships and intimate relationships. Well,
Yeah.
Y'all get what I'm saying.
They all relationships, but I just feel like if I break up with my friend, I'm probably gonna be hurt twice as much as I do in a relationship. Even if my relationship is like a deep love, you know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna be hurt more by my friend because with my friends, I have soul ties.
Yes.
Soul
correct.
ties.
So it's like relinquishing a part of my soul or getting a part of
Yeah.
my soul back that I
Yeah.
didn't necessarily want back. I gave it to you because I wanted it to be yours.
And we have
And
that
you trust that
connection.
person too. Yeah. And it comes a lot with trust, I feel. When you trust somebody, then it's like, y'all stop being cool. It's like, damn, like I trust you. You know some shit that
Right,
nobody else don't know.
right,
you
right.
motherfucker.
Because I mean, like I'm going through that now. Like
For real.
I stopped talking to a friend. Well, she's not my friend anymore, but I stopped talking to a friend of mine, and I'm still going through like that.
Hurts a little bit.
Yeah, like pulling the Velcro pieces apart, if you will.
That's
what it feels like, and it's just like you would think that you would be over it, but you're not. You know what I'm
So
saying?
how long has it been? I ain't trying to get in business.
No,
but how
no,
long
you're
has it
fine. What year?
We in 2020
2020.
December. You know what I'm saying? Of course you know the year.
It's been almost 2 to 3 years, but that's
Oh,
me
okay.
and my healing process because I shoved it under the rug for so long, and I'm just now like opening up.
Super
You know what
fair.
I'm saying?
It's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think that it's all about like the years and the experiences that you share with a person because at the end of the day, a friend does not make years.
Yeah.
A friend makes experiences, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I had a lot of experiences with one friend and like she tore that shit apart. And so that was the toughest thing I probably went through beyond breakups. Like my breakups were serious, but like her
Same.
and our best friendship kind of breaking
Same.
apart, that was the worst thing I can possibly imagine. I mean, I felt like I called my mom on that one in particular. And my mom's my best friend, so like I called my mom on that. And so for me to do that,
right.
that means it was deeper than a boyfriend or whatever going on, like a relationship in that sense. So
I feel like women can have deeper connections with their friends than men on an average.
I agree
can
on
you?
that one. I agree. I do agree on that
okay.
one a little bit.
I
yeah.
think
I
that men
don't
can
know.
like not need to talk to a person for a long time
'Cause
and then
yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
And it's not a
Yeah,
breakup.
yeah,
It's not a
yeah.
breakup. It's a
Just
we
a-
cool.
I see you in a
but
year,
we
bro.
Right, we walking away. We
And
good.
y'all hang out like
That's
it
how we
just
all are
happened
here.
yesterday. Like,
No, that's
We
true.
forgive easy.
Yeah.
We just be like, man, we was tripping.
men let time erase
Yeah,
shit. Like
like-
something horrible will happen. Y'all will just stop talking for like 3 months and then be like, "Hey man, you want to go to some
You
knees?"
trying to? I got
He
some
said
bud.
forgive.
I got some trees.
He said the word forgive.
He did.
Women do not women hold on to shit.
Yeah.
So y'all don't
it's a
forgive.
grudge battle.
We don't
Well,
forget. I don't. I mean,
I don't forget. I will
don't
forgive instantly. I will literally. Well, okay.
How long take you forgive realistically? How long has it taken you?
Sometimes it's instantly.
Oh, okay,
Mm.
okay.
Because you have to
Depends
forgive
on
for
what
your
it
own
is.
self.
Yeah,
You have to forgive for your own soul.
true. Because it's hurting
it's
you more than
different.
it's
They'll
hurting
keep
another
you in that
person.
same
Yeah,
space.
it's different. It's
It
different.
took me a long time to get to that place in my life where I forgave people.
How long can it take you?
Probably
Last
close
year.
to like 10 years.
10 years.
How come
Yeah.
though?
Yeah.
Like,
To each
why'd
his
you hold on
own.
to it?
Because one wasn't taught any different. Two, I wasn't willing to accept that there was a different way. I didn't care if you cross me. Like, for me, loyalty is everything. I don't need a title for shit. You can be nobody to me, but if you loyal to me, that's everything. So once I feel like you cross my loyalty, or even if I have to question it, then there's no reason for me to be involved with you.
But I think it comes back to the being an adult, like how we
Yeah.
conceptualize what an adult is, right?
Absolutely.
Forgiveness is one of those things that you have to learn.
Absolutely.
And it's not going to come overnight.
And I had to
It's
learn
not.
it. I had to learn it, and I had to accept that it's something that I needed to learn. And it took me a long time to get there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's funny, being a dominatrix kind of put me in
Hey, however you get there, you get there. The
Okay.
journey is yours.
You feel me?
Take one step in front of
Dominatrix in here. Dominatrix. Every time I hear that, it's just like a whoo, woo.
Whips and chains.
That's funny.
But no, I do agree with all y'all. I think relationships, any way it goes, is a serious thing. You know what I mean? Definitely you open up to this people, whoever you meet, your friendship, relationship, wherever you want to be, you know, it's something serious.
Because you can kind of find a relationship quick. You can rebound a relationship, but a friendship is like, I just lost a piece of me.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's
Yeah.
like, it's long embedded within me. Like, I can't call you. I can't see you. You know, so you losing a big piece of relationship.
Right, then you
Somebody
want
else to
that.
take their place. You feel me? Like,
Especially if,
I'll
like,
forget
you-
about her.
I go find another freak.
Yeah, like, I'll be good.
Especially like you shared like vulnerable stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang.
And it's like, did I do that out of vain?
I
or
cried
was
on
it
your
real?
shoulder.
Yeah,
Like,
Right? Yeah. So,
Yeah, and it all
So-
depends on how much it's connected to, because it's
True.
like, it's not just if you and me are connected, right?
Right,
It's
right,
like,
right.
are our families connected?
Yeah.
Is this bigger than just me? Or am I breaking up with not just you? Am I breaking up with the rest of your family too?
Ooh,
That's the thing.
That's a
You break
good
up with
one.
everybody.
because
Shit.
I've been in
So
So how-
in theory, you don't. You don't.
I'm about to say,
In
yeah,
theory,
you
you don't.
don't, because
Because
I don't got nothing to do with y'all stuff. That's how the parents be. Well, that's how my
exactly,
mama
the
be. Yeah,
parents.
yeah.
So me and
But do they talk to
my
y'all?
ex best friend, I hung out with her mom.
Oh, that's what's
well
up.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Well afterwards. And
go for
she
drinks.
took me to dinner, everything XYZ. But then when we came back to it, like, me and her never rekindled nothing. But me,
Damn.
her mom was fine with me. Was like, look, y'all ain't friends, but you're still my niece in a sense. And so it doesn't, I mean, like, you got to think about it. Like, sometimes you break up with the family, sometimes you don't. But it's, you got to, that's a whole, you're not going through that with one person. You're going through that with every single person, figuring out, like, hey, do I still fit in your life?
yeah, because I mean, like,
And if they
my-
really liked you or loved
Really like-
you,
exactly.
like if I loved you, your
didn't
breakup
matter,
doesn't mean
right,
shit.
right.
It's like I still care about you.
I will say it's a little different for, I can't say all males, but majority males, like you said earlier though, it's like we can get mad at each other, fuck you, bro, fuck you, and go like a month, even years, and then link up, hey.
Y'all annoying.
That's our
Like,
story.
me and
Right.
Devontae
Now,
fell out, you know what I
we
mean?
fell out once. Look, we have friends like that. We have enemies that were our enemies down the street from here for years. I mean, our worst enemies. Like, people we would
years.
fight off
Starter
sight.
Crest boys.
Oh, my God.
And I swear I've seen half of those dudes out in like a Walmart or in like a store or something.
Hollywood.
And we'll be like, hey man, how you doing, man?
Dap each other
And we be genuinely concerned. Like, what is
Y'all
going
have a
on?
good conversation.
Females
Yeah,
be like,
so
how the
I'm
baby? I
done.
saw you. See, but I think the ladies be like you said, the ladies hold on to the grudge, like fuck her. You know, y'all probably
Yeah.
respect each other, probably. You know,
That's
I don't know.
crazy.
I'm not a woman,
I
but
mean, yes,
would-
there is respect, but I'm not a.
see,
No, I would
see?
see, but not all ladies are like that. Like, if
How are you like? How
no,
are you?
no, like,
Okay.
because forgiveness is a big piece for me.
Okay.
So if I forgive, then that means we can step back into it and start from
Oh,
a brand
okay,
new slate. That doesn't mean though that I'm gonna turn around and trust you 100%. All that means is that we can start to be friends again and we can grow that shit back.
Okay, that's understandable.
So, but not all women are like that. Some women like to hold that. Some women are like, okay, well, we can start all over.
Uh-huh.
And some women like, that's just never gonna happen again. Like, that's what it is.
I feel like I've watched my mother through her relationships with her friends for best example. But I mean, I've had girlfriends, of course, but like their friends, they all the newer generation versus somebody I've watched for 20 years is very easy to use my mom as an example. Like her long-term friends, she uses her relationship arguments, even with her long-term friends, like it's a relationship. Like the same way she would take her boyfriend if her girlfriend says something smart. Like she'll get off the phone like, you know what she said to me.
I mean, that's what we're talking about.
Mama
like,
always been to you.
And then my like I'll be in a like I'll have a friend like I'll give you in a situation. I'm not going to name the friend.
Name it.
But I went somewhere with somebody and we're on our way back.
Steven.
And he had work in the morning. And he was just pissy. Just pissy.
Shame on you.
I don't know what I did to him, but he had work in the morning. But I was just like, hey, man, you want to go grab something? No, I'm headed home.
Okay,
man,
bye.
you all right?
Goodness.
Yes, I did.
No, I'm driving us home, and I'm going home. I'm like,
Okay. Just hurry up.
Gosh, Steven.
so you know what I did? I went home, and I called him the next day like, yo, man, what's up? It didn't even affect me. Versus if that were like my mom or another woman in that situation, she would
Fuck wrong with you?
What is your problem? You know, I'm not hanging with her next time because you know what she did when I was trying to leave.
First, wait. First, I'm gonna say two things. The first thing is Uno just put out a new game, and it's called Dose.
For real.
One.
You slick motherfucker. I'm about to look it up right now. I'm about to look it up.
No, that's
Yeah,
what
the
I've been over
facts.
here reading, looking crazy.
I got you.
Second thing,
Dose.
you seem to have a lot of issues with women.
I don't.
She fix you.
I
She get
love
you together.
women.
Call it.
She
He
get
needs some
you.
dominatrix in his life.
Hey, look.
You have
still
lessons?
whipping?
Look,
You still out
can't
here
live with
whipping?
him, can't live without him. How about that?
Listen,
He needs some lessons.
Making me
you
dog
just
food.
seem like not even that you have issues. It's just that you
guys,
seem
dog
to.
food. I
hate to use the word target because that's not what you're doing, but you seem to reference the opposite sex a lot more than.
I just
I'm
think
not
you
a-
need.
Take him to school.
And
Go ahead.
you generalize it a lot
Because
So,
I'm not afraid of that.
I understand that you're
Our
not.
culture
I
has
understand,
made men
I
afraid of
understand
it.
that
Let
you're
her
not.
explain.
I understand that you're not afraid of it, but by generalizing it makes it seem like you have issues.
Am I generalizing?
You are.
Or am I stating clear opposite
Examples.
differences that happen?
But that's from your perspective.
It's
Yeah,
not my
that's
perspective.
your
Every
perspective.
difference that I've put out is a physical difference between man and woman.
And
Okay,
you
let it be that.
also take a lot of your general women. This is my opinion. Your generalized women's opinion and state it as a fact. It may be a fact to you.
Opinion, like I don't generalize their opinion. So women
no, I
are
said
Spicy.
your opinion.
Spicy. That's a good one.
Your
Spicy.
opinion.
Yes. Shameless
So this
plug.
is just me saying
coming
that this
spicy.
is just me, my point of view, and your opinions about women. You take your generalized opinions and you say, and this is just a fact. This is a fact. This is what you've been saying the whole time.
Okay.
But
okay.
yet still, it may be a fact to you, but that's not a fact to everybody.
you.
I'm not gonna speak for it. That's not a fact to me.
Okay.
So when you say certain things, and when I'm saying who hurt you, I'm not trying to be funny, because I really think that you have some traumas with women.
Just listen to the sister.
No. I'm not,
go.
and not even trying to be funny though, and I'm not trying to put you out there or nothing like that. But
just
I'm
being
just saying when
transparent.
you say a lot of things, it's directed towards us a lot.
I don't think it's directed towards you. I think it's more so stating an obvious difference.
I think it's more so what your experience is.
Yes.
Because
it's
I
stating-
think,
agree.
well, but I'm not saying that like I'm saying this in the sense of like you might have, because you never talk about. Oh, let me.
Wow.
Don't hold back on the Lavish Journey. Do not hold back on this
All right,
podcast.
let's do some real talk. So you never talk about like your separations from the rest of these dudes around here, like whatever happened between you and Justin, like whatever happened between you and whoever. Like you're not saying like what actually was the cause of it, but you are distinctly stating what happened that is a cause of whatever falling out you've had for whatever women. And most of those are your personal relationships, as in you and that person are in a relationship. But like even with the stuff that you mentioned with your mom, like that's a little bit different, right? So
no,
like
I'm not stating any specific situations because like what I'm saying is
don't
like
lie now.
No, what I mean no specific situations. Like for instance, when I say that women are attracted to a certain thing, that's a fact. Just
Okay,
like
men
men
are
are
attracted
attracted
to-
to a certain thing.
Okay,
What
yeah.
I mean, not a specific
Attracted to
feature.
pussy.
But-
what I mean is like it's a behavior. Women,
Fair,
for instance,
balance it.
women are less
Balance it.
attracted. When I say women, that's what's annoying you. So what I'm saying, women are right.
But
Why do you
balance it.
think it's annoying me? Why do you think that?
That's what you just.
But I
told
think
me.
you're-
You're
No,
saying I
no,
have.
she's
I
pointing
didn't-
out your
I didn't-
examples.
Exactly. I didn't say maybe I'm speaking heightened, so
Spicy.
maybe I need to calm down. So let me speak calmly to you.
Okay.
Ooh, is this better?
This is the
Yeah,
this,
I like that.
is
It's
it.
still spicy. It's still a little spicy.
You better use that voice.
Talk like
It's
Matrix
a little
voice.
spicy to
So,
Devontae. I like it.
I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
that I'm annoyed by it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to bring to light to you what I think is an issue.
Okay.
That's all.
All right, I'm saying that I love women. Okay, I have no intention of not
Nobody
being
said
with
you
one
did.
in my future, or
'Cause she coming.
or the
Mhm.
ones in here. I'm not going. I have
She
no
gonna
problem
bring
with,
balance
or
in
my
that
mother or
line.
anybody else we've mentioned.
We'll toss
I
them
don't think
afterwards.
that they are in any detriment. I don't think they're any or men are superior to women. I don't think
of
any of
course
that.
not.
I
Of
don't
course
think
not.
that you
So
think that either,
what I'm
honey.
saying
I
is
just think
that we are different.
I just think that you have a lot of animosity to women because of your past trauma.
Look at his face.
Let
I
me
wish I
tell
had a camera right
right.
now. Go ahead, Freedom.
Let me tell you, Devontae.
That's
So
all I'm
the only
saying.
thing is, it'd be different if this was an all male podcast, because there would be no women or women
But that's
present.
what I like.
We could
That's
cut
this is
loose.
what I
Yeah, I mean, but then you could say that without a woman perspective on check you. Like, no, women don't think like this. I don't feel like this, because she's speaking from
That's
her
what I
perspective.
need.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's what they're doing. That's why they're coming at you like, no, not all women feel
I'm
like
glad.
Or
So,
in my
and-
opinion.
I've been,
And-
I've
and
been
there-
enjoying. You don't understand. I've been enjoying.
Beginning
this
the podcast,
entire
he said he
time.
wanted this.
Really?
And so that's why when you say most women or all women think like this, feel like this, you're talking to these three women right here. So they're taking it like you're talking to me directly right
I
now.
am.
Yeah, but if she's saying I don't feel like this, you have to accept that. Like, okay, maybe the woman I experienced, this is what they shown me. This is how they felt towards this. They show me that they're attracted to a man like this. They like a more
I speak in
dominant.
normally when I'm speaking in statistics. So when I say women, I mean positive of 65%.
65% of statistics are incorrect. Like that's real.
Okay, but we have to use something, or
You-
else
you
we're
do
just
have to
coming
use
from a
something,
point
but
of
you
zero.
can't-
You,
I was
you
about
can
to
use
say,
the
you know,
statistics of these three women right here.
And
This
I'ma
would be
say
your
this
statistics.
because a part of your gift, a part of your gift
Yes, you better
Oh,
use
the
that gift.
Oh
voice,
my
man.
God, McLovin.
is that you need tangible evidence in order to articulate
Should I
your
pull out
And
my
gift.
validate.
phone? Should I pull out my phone?
That's what you need.
I could pull out my
validate.
phone
in
and start
reality,
googling.
in reality, statistics aren't everybody.
They're not
Check my
It's
facts.
generalized.
This is
I mean,
recorded.
that's
only
fine.
A fact, it's only a fact to the people
Give
who
us a
were
quick
included into the study, baby. That's not everybody.
No, I mean after this
So you-
podcast,
you-
go back and check
you-
on everything I said.
Exactly. Okay, and guess what? I can see the same numbers you're seeing, but again,
There's still three.
that was
telling
just
you.
the people that were included, and not everybody.
That's true.
I'm gonna make a
So
lot of clips
use
out of
use
this.
these
That's true.
statistics for now as your future events come.
So what
'cause
I use is I normally go off of the generality. So
Are you listening?
Are you killing? He's not listening.
He's not.
You're not listening.
what am I not listening
Okay, go
to?
ahead, ladies.
not
Let the brother know one more time.
It's okay. You know what? It's okay. It's okay.
We're gonna have an after show.
You just have your formed opinions, but like
right, you're right.
you're not letting it be
I'm very
malleable.
I was just
I'm
about to
very-
say that.
You better go ahead.
let your opinions be malleable a little bit. That's all.
Let the mold.
I'll
That's all.
malleate.
Yeah,
Yes,
there
you
we go.
better malleate. But like what we're saying is
Listen to learn.
we're apart from the statistics and we're trying to enlighten you on our perspectives because
Well,
there
I
are
have been
other
enlightened.
have you?
Y'all have been telling me. Yeah, I've been letting me
But I
know.
think
But are
it's-
you
it-
listening?
It's because you
I
defend
am.
them. That's the only reason why they're still coming. Because you still defend it to a degree, but just listen and be like, okay.
And it
you
may
know.
not and
That's
I'm
not the way
saying-
conversations work in my
Well,
opinion.
okay.
But
it
to
may
hear,
You
not.
have
I'm
to
just saying
convince
here.
me. You have to convince a point.
and that's
That's hard
and
to
that's
do.
a part of your gift, okay? You have to have tangible evidence in
Yeah.
order for you to believe it, okay? And that's okay.
Yeah,
Nobody's saying that you're wrong for being like that, but you have to understand that when you're generalizing your opinion and saying that it's a fact, it's offensive sometimes.
Yeah.
I didn't mean
And
to
I'm
offend.
not. I'm not saying you offended me, baby, because I know who I am.
Oh,
But to a woman who may be listening to this,
Her name
who is not there in their
Period.
journey, may be offended by what you're saying.
you're right.
We do got a lot of ladies listening.
I'm sorry,
That's
ladies.
our biggest audience,
I'm
I
very
think.
sorry.
And I mean the seeds are being sown now, but they may not manifest in 5 minutes.
see,
So it's
No.
okay.
I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I
I'm
love
sorry
the
for
voice.
any offended
I love her voice
women
that
in the
she
crowd.
It
time.
I feel like my
I
shoulders
was
relaxed.
right.
Yes.
Listen, 'cause
Facts sometimes hurt.
that's how I
Actually,
used
we
to
half
to
and half.
talk-
We got half women,
I
half
had
males
to talk to
listening.
my clients like that
Good shit.
sometimes.
No.
Sometimes they don't like
Right
you
in
to
the
talk to
We
them.
talking
No,
to
you're
the bitches
absolutely
at home
right.
too.
I
Like,
talk to
No,
my
he
students
right,
like
yo.
that when they're not listening.
It's 50-50.
Okay, I have to turn on my teacher voice, and I need you to really
Yeah.
understand how you're not following directions. I need you to have a seat.
That's what teachers do. Be
They
like,
do.
okay, now
They
listen,
shut you down
Justin,
politely.
listen. I bet okay. That's
And then you
that's
just-
what us men need sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. I'm
Listen,
guilty of it.
Because people respond different when you do that.
Sometimes we just listen to respond, and I'm one of those people.
Mm.
But
true.
podcasting has really taught me to just sit back. You know, sometimes I just sit back and listen, and then
Yeah.
but yeah.
You what? Wait, what was that?
But brother Freedom got the essential and enlightening tips of
yeah,
the
man.
day.
We gotta end it off. Number 1, be careful who you shit on. Some of us know what to do with fertilizer.
Whoa.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
God damn, we get that from.
I like that. Look, I like that.
Yes.
Number 2, talk to more people who can make you see the world differently. And as you see at this podcast, we're seeing the world a little different. Number 3, some wake to an alarm, others wake to a calling. Which one will you rise to?
Period.
Number 5, doors are opening. The wait isn't punishment, but merely preparation.
Read
And
that
number-
one again.
You want to read it again?
Go ahead,
read it again.
Number 5, doors are opening. The wait isn't punishment, but merely preparation.
Haha. Yes, God.
I could expand on that.
You want to?
No. If you want me to, I could.
Let me read the last one, then
Okay.
you can expand all your heart wants. And number 5, let's normalize a 4-hour workday with 8 hours worth of pay.
Oh.
And those are yours.
Yes.
Essential
Ooh, that's
and
good.
enlightening
Yes.
tips.
That was some clever shit right there. I like
now
that
read
one.
that number 5
Yeah, read
again.
that again.
Let's normalize a 4-hour workday with 8 hours worth of pay.
Yes.
Yes, God.
So you trying to say work efficiently?
So work only 4 hours, but you get paid for your 8 hours.
Work
Personally,
smartly.
that's what
not
I do.
hard.
So
Even though I'm
read
not
the one
supposed
That's
to.
the
before
mission
that.
we on, y'all.
That you want the one before that?
Yeah.
All right. Doors are opening. The wait isn't punishment, but merely preparation.
So when your brain is learning to do something, if you ever want to pick up something new after the age of 25, right? Your brain is wired in what it thinks it knows by that point. So in order to activate the neurons to go into neuroplasticity, right? In order for them to be able to learn something new at an older age, you have to use focus at the exact point that you want and really concentrated focus, and you open up your mind again, and the chemicals that flow in at that point allow you to continue to learn even at an older age.
Well, look at you.
What do you mean
smart.
focus at an exact point?
So most people, when they try to learn
Another
something, we
topic is
have
coming.
careers and we have all these different things that we do as adults
set in your ways.
or responsibilities. Well, as a kid, what makes them learn so fast is the fact that they have such a direct focus. Well, as an adult, we don't anymore, and
You
that's
ain't
why we
lying.
don't learn as efficiently as kids. Effectively, we have the same capacity, but we just have to pick time throughout the day and choose something to focus directly on. And when you're sleeping is when your brain goes into a state of neuroplasticity. So when you're awake, it's not happening. So we want it, but when you're trying, you get into a state of anxiety because of all the cortisol released in your blood, right? And the dopamine will calm that down if you just keep yourself coaxed, but you really learn in your sleep.
I've read that.
And you see it kind of with like kids nowadays and how you have child prodigies in different sports is because they're so young and they can take the time to really like take that new thing
Yes,
on
yes.
and manifest it, right? And then that's why you see most corporate companies, if you're past your 5 years, they're like, oh man, you might be stuck in your ways. Are you really something I really want to take a chance on?
That's
And
deep.
some corporate companies like, nah, I can't really teach you my ways. I've always heard that. Like, I can't teach you my way, so therefore it's a little bit more of a risk for me to take you versus a new person out of college.
Because they're more malleable.
It's hard.
That should be the word,
This
malleable.
has been a very intellectual podcast. Malleable. I heard a lot of good terms I want to
better
use
That's
for
the
my
new word of
word
the day.
down.
Malleable.
Yeah, that's
Hard
good.
to teach an old dog new tricks.
That was on the
sure.
Lupe Fiasco song. Now that I remember it, that's why that word is there.
Yeah.
You know, today's word day for this podcast will be
Kick push.
malleable.
Malleable.
But with that being said, I appreciate y'all for coming to the show today. It was a very spicy and enlightening conversation we had.
And
And
malleable.
malleable. So before we get off the air, can y'all give y'all Instagrams or wherever social media y'all want to give? And yeah, who wants to go first?
My Instagram is at my rich brown life, all lowercase. My TikTok is Chantel Breon, ShantelleBreyon. And that's it. Because I don't feel like
TikTok.
Ladies first.
Her face is priceless. Go ahead. Just go. We gotta get it off.
Press through. Press toward the mark.
All right, y'all. Well,
Well.
y'all can follow my podcast page,
Hey.
PSA_with_flavor, and that's flavor with an A, not an R, because we are black.
Hey.
Yes,
And
Ebonics.
everything else you need is already on there. So
Instagram on there too. You know, can you just tell them just in case? You know, some people they don't really comprehend things as quick.
Well, they might not have an Instagram.
Oh, they might have. Yeah, they might not have Instagram.
That's the thing.
yeah.
I don't have Facebook though. So if you don't have Instagram, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I got you. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you, Crys Mclovin.
McLovin.
Go ahead, Miss Jackie.
All right, my Instagram is Jackie21, spelled JACQUEE21. Yes, very different.
Kevin Garrett.
Spicy.
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
Yes.
All right.
What was
My
that?
Instagram is Wavy Adrenaline or at Wavy Adrenaline, and my Facebook is my name, Devontae Tompkins. I don't know if you want to follow my Facebook because I don't use that very often, just for memes. So if you like memes,
Okay.
All right, guys. So you guys know my name is JK. At JK's92, but you already know to follow us at thelavishjourney.com with my brother Freedom over here.
What up, y'all?
You got anything to say before we get off the show?
Not at all. Peace and love.
Brush
Hope
teeth
you're
and wash your
malleable.
face.
With that being said, ladies and boys, girls, thank you for watching or listening to a Lavish Journey podcast where we create,
Inspire.
spread greatness. Peace, y'all. Post a picture.
Not post a picture.
We good.